All right, welcome back, Truth Seeker. It is Wednesday, the winter solstice, December 21st, 2022. At least it's the winter solstice for the Northern Hemisphere where a lot of us live. And yesterday, it was announced that Zelensky was on his way to the United States in a surprise visit. And if you're new here, I have a campaign. Well, I don't know if campaign's the right word, but I have a slogan or a motto. What is 47? And the reason we ask what is 47 is because if you pay attention to this number, you'll see how often it's used in news media and how often it is used in rituals, especially places like Washington, D.C. And in the case of Zelensky, his announcement about traveling to Washington, D.C. came exactly 47 weeks after his birthday. And 47 is not an arbitrary number to a secret society, which is Freemasonry. Of course, Washington, D.C. is named after George Washington, the Freemason. A lot of the founders of the country were Masons who studied in France, and the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry, which has a headquarters in D.C. The Scottish Rite of Freemasonry out of France, if you're familiar with the Mason's symbol, it's the capital G and it has the compass with the square beneath. Out of France, they set the compass at 47 degrees, and not arbitrarily. It's in tribute to the 47th problem of Euclid, which is a squared plus b squared equals c squared, which is important to builders. And historically, the Masons were builders before modern Freemasonry, which has been more about politics and control and power. And also for people on the lower levels, just like brotherhood and understanding and learning about things. But anyhow, 47, very special number in the capital city. And, he's coming to meet Biden, who was the 47th vice president of the United States, who took office with the 47-year-old Obama initially. And you had Trump on the campaign trail when he was running against Biden saying he'd done more in 47 months than Biden had done in 47 years. Of course, Biden had to be in D.C. for 47 years before he became president. But notice how in Gematria, which is knowledge in Kabbalah, which again fits in with the secret societies like Freemasonry, in Gematria, Ukraine equals 47. And there's been a number of rituals with Ukraine in 47 already that we've documented this past year. But now he comes to D.C., the 47 city, 47 weeks from his birthday. Again, the surprise announcement was made yesterday, December 20th, exactly 47 weeks after his birthday. That makes today his arrival in D.C. 47 weeks and a day later. But if you're new here, Gematria. It's based on the alphabetic order, forwards and backwards with numerology. And notice the letters DC. When you run the alphabetic order in reverse, DC is 47. Again, if you're new here, the word government, when you take the reverse alphabetic order with the rules numerology, is 47. The word president, when you run the alphabetic order forwards with numerology, is 47. Again, this is elementary mathematics. White House has that gematria of 47. Republican has that gematria of 47. Democrat also has that gematria of 47. And with regards to Republican, remember the Republican Party came out of the Whig Party. Whig also has that gematria of 47. And it was Lincoln who created the Republican Party, transitioning from the Whig Party, who gave his famous address where he says, 87 years ago. Rather than saying 87 years ago, he was sure to phrase it 40, scores 20, and 7 years ago. Gets the 47 in there. And there is something interesting about that, the way he brought the 47 and the 87 together. It's a little bit deeper, but for the record, the word beast is 47 and number of the beast is 87. Talked about this in several different rituals in the past. But again, D.C. is the 47 city. President, White House, government, authority, Republican, Democrat. Again, president, White House, they're all 47. It's a number of authority. Vatican has the Gematria 47. The Roman architecture all over DC. Modern Freemasonry is a Jesuit creation. They serve the Roman Catholic Church. Vatican 47. And the word authority itself is also 47. So Zelensky, again, comes from Ukraine, 47, and does it exactly 47 weeks after his birthday. And I know people who are new to this, who aren't very good with math or probability, they always think because there's 4 ciphers, you can probably get anything to equal 47, which is a completely illogical thought. But again, we live in a lot and where people have illogical thoughts all the time. And anyhow, just to give you an example of how they do this stuff, and even the most trivial of things, when the Kentucky Derby was canceled because of COVID, they did a virtual Kentucky Derby using the virtual 13 Triple Crown winners of all time. By the way, the last 2 Triple Crown winners have happened in the time I've been aware of this knowledge, and we predicted them dead on before either horse won a single race from understanding this. But anyway, they had a virtual Kentucky Derby, and Secretariat won the race, and they had it on May 2nd, 2020, which was a date with 47 numerology. Secretariat was the only horse in the race that had a gematria value of 47. And again, it was the real winner from 47 years earlier. And just to show you, again, using these 4 base ciphers, here were the 13 Triple Crown winning horses. And take a minute to look with your own eyes. You can see the 13 horses using the most simple cipher, the alphabetic order. None of the horses' name equal 47. Using what's considered the most pure cipher, the alphabetic order with the rules numerology, the only horse that equals 47 is Secretariat, which, again, won the virtual Kentucky Derby on the 47 date numerology, 47 years after winning the Triple Crown. With the reverse alphabetic order, no horse's name equals 47. With the reverse alphabetic order and rules numerology, no horse's name equals 47. Just the one horse in the one cipher. And again, I show this just so people can understand. You can't just get anything to equal anything because you're using 4 ciphers. These are rituals. And again, it's not just about the words equating to the right numbers. It's the fact that they continue to do these rituals synced up with the calendar, and the calendar measures time. And by the way, the 47th problem of Euclid relates to establishing a foundation. Think about this nation's birthday, the way the majority of the world writes the date. The 4th of July, the 4th day of the 7th month, foundation 47. The word time, 47. The tropics of this earth, which measure the solstices, are 47 degrees apart. Again, the tropics are at 23.5 degrees north and 23.5 degrees south, 47 degrees apart. Kind of like how the Scottish Rite of France keeps their compass set at 47 degrees. And again, it was the French Freemason L'Enfant. By the way, just with regards to France, France has the Gematria 47. The French Freemason L'Enfant laid out DC, the 47 city, where again, the Jesuits were created in France. The Scottish Rite of Freemasonry came to power in France. The Jesuits created the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry. Again, they served the Vatican. But yeah, this post right here is from 2017, and well before this, we've just been talking about what is 47. This is something we've been talking about for years, just documenting ritual after ritual. By the way, Trump, who said, I've done more in 47 months than Biden's done in 47 years, let's not forget that his name equals 47. Let's not forget that when he won the rigged selection back in 2016, he was in the 47-story Midtown Hilton Hotel. Let's also not forget that Ivanka Trump equals 47, and there's an episode of The Simpsons where she's running for president in 2028, which will be the year that she turns 47 years old. But yeah, again, 47, a number that we've talked about so many times. It just reminds me of another 47. Look at this old post. If you look at the terminology that the Masons use for the compass, the circle at the top they refer to as the pole star. And notice the gematria of pole star, 47. Again, builders, framework, 47. So the Masonic motto from their own website that goes with the compass The motto is circumscribe our desires and keep our passions within due bounds. And interestingly enough, that phrase has gematria of 666, which again is the number of the beast. Beast equals 47. Let's not forget that Christian equals 47. Again, that's the religion that teaches about the beast in 666. It's the thing that all the presidents put their hand on, the Bible, as they get sworn in. And since we're coming up on the big Christian holiday, I'd as well make a point that we've made many times before. These are the base ciphers: the alphabetic order with the rules of numerology, the reverse alphabetic order with the rules of numerology. For the alphabetic order, there's an accompanying cipher called Sumerian gematria. And you just multiply the alphabetic order times 6. Isn't it interesting that it's Santa Claus is 666 in this cipher? And it's just a reshuffling of Satan is Santa 55, like Satan's 55, December's 55. RIP to the actress from General Hospital who just died out of nowhere at age 55. Covered that yesterday and earlier today again. But it's also interesting that December, that begins DEC, like Deca, like 10. It's interesting how December has the gematria of 55, because 55 is the 10th triangular number, which means if you add 1 through 10 together, it equals 55. And it's also the 10th Fibonacci number. And when you write out Fibonacci, it even has gematria of 55, as does numerology. But with regards to the Satan thing, notice how Satan is 55 and 10. Again, if you add 1 through 10, it equals 55. And if you run the alphabetic order in reverse, God is 55 and 10. And again, about 6 years ago, Marilyn Manson came out with the song Say 10. And in case you're not familiar with it, it's obvious he knows a thing about gematria. But let me put up the lyrics to this. Say 10, S-A-Y, number 10, by Marilyn Manson. And the chorus to the song is, you say God, and I say 10. Again, this comes from Kabbalah. Kabbalah historically was knowledge for people who were rich, ruling class. And it looks like Marilyn made it into the club. But don't you get the joke? When you say God, I say 10. So here we are in December, which historically was the 10th month before the reshuffling of the calendar in the 16th century. And again, the old calendar made a lot more sense. I think it would be good for humanity to go back to the old calendar. Again, think about it. The old calendar, the new year began when everything was anew. In the spring, when all the plants are blossoming and the leaves are regrowing. Why would they move the new year to the time of death when everything is dead? It's not totally dead, but you look outside at the trees, the leaves are dead, some are left on the ground. And like I'm showing you year after year, these psychopaths rule the world, killing people just in the craziest of rituals, like what we talked about with Franco Harris this morning at this period of the year. And again, the same people who gave us the calendar, the same people who gave us the story of Jesus, where God requires human sacrifice. And, then they got you in church on Sunday, the Catholic Church does, who began as a sun cult. And they got you eating Jesus's body and drinking his blood like you're a vampire. Can't see that these people are sick and demented. Anyway, all of these things are rituals in time. And yeah, here's just the latest example of what is 47. And in case you forgot about Trump going up against Biden, who again was once upon a time the 47th vice president who did take office when Obama was 47 years old. Trump, I have done more in 47 months than Biden has done in 47 years. Again, just look at the gematria. Impossible coincidences. And don't forget the cornerstone was laid for DC on September 18th, 1793 by George Washington the Mason. That was a date with 47 numerology. The cornerstone was also laid for the Washington Monument on July 4th, which, again, the majority of the world writes 4/7. So, anyhow, latest ritual with Ukraine by the numbers, and pretty much that's what's been going on every day. They've had some clever little ritual for Ukraine every single day by the numbers. That they're saying Biden is finalizing the deal to send the Patriot missiles to Ukraine. And again, let's not forget that we sent Patriot missiles to Poland on March 9th at the beginning of the year on 3/9. World War II began in 1939 when Germany invaded Poland. Then this year we got the story about missiles crashing into Poland, which was 39 days after Putin's birthday. And at first they said they were Russian missiles. The CIA confirmed they were Russian missiles, only for the next day for them to retract the story and say that they were Ukrainian missiles, part of the air defense system. The funny thing about the meeting today is today has 39 date numerology. 39 date numerology. Again, rumors of World War II, or excuse me, World War III all year. Now, Biden and Zelensky meet on the 39 date numerology, and they've had this 39 theme going all year. And it fits in with the whole masonry thing. Notice how federal has the gematria of 33 forwards, 39 in reverse. Masonry is the same thing, 33 forwards, 39 in reverse. Secrecy is the same thing, 33 forwards, 39 in reverse. And masonry is based in the Old Testament, which is 39 books, unless it's the Catholic Bible. And of course, then it's 46. Like Catholic is 46, like Biden, the second Catholic president, number 46. JFK, the first, who was number 35, killed at age 46. Biden elected 46 weeks after the Pope's birthday, inaugurated on the Pope's 35th day of his age. Again, if you're new here, Catholic also 145, like how there's 145 more chapters in the Catholic Old Testament than the Protestant Old Testament. Don't forget that Genesis is also 3339. Again, a lot of the Masonic secrets right there in the first book of the Old Testament, Genesis. And again, the cool thing about Genesis is it means in the beginning, which has gematria of 137, which is a 33rd prime. Kind of like Washington, D.C. equals 137, which is the 33rd prime. Going with the federal city, going with the Masonic city, where the headquarters is there for the Scottish Rite, at the address 1733, where again, Mason is 17, Masonry is 33. Modern Freemasonry created in 1717. Freemasonry equals 59, the 17th prime, 59 years before this nation was created. And again, the House of the Temple, the Masonic headquarters at 1733, 33 pillars on the outside that are each 33 feet tall. So, True Seeker, this is also going to be the TFR makeup episode. I was planning to do TFR tonight, but got some bad news today. Sweet lady whose mother is older, she had a bad stroke today, and she cannot speak, and she's kind of paralyzed. And her mother lives in Burma. This just happened a few hours ago. It's the middle of the night in Burma right now, and again, it's third world. They're in the middle of a crazy civil war type thing over there, but it's third world over there. The roads aren't right, so they have to wait till the light comes up to get her mom to the hospital in the big city, which is like a few hour drive from where they live. And so, sweet lady's just in a bad mental place right now. And rather than do the show tonight, gonna spend some time with sweet lady. There could be worse news coming in yet. But yeah, I mean, the good news there is no good news to this, but sweet lady's mom is quite old. Sweet lady has a bunch of siblings. She's the youngest. And because it is third world, they don't have like birth records over there or anything. So she's not even exactly sure how old her mom is, but her mom looks like, she's almost as old as my grandma. So it's not like she's a young lady, and she has had some health problems for a while, but unfortunately today is the day that her health takes a very major spill. So gonna spend time with sweet lady tonight. and help her feel better about the situation. Not that you can really feel that good when things like this happen to your mom. But yeah, it is sad, and gonna have to save TFR for next week. So since I'm not doing the episode tonight, we'll do a longer stream right now, and because we're not going to get our dose of Rambo, I see that Rambo has a new video up, and I think just to transition to another topic, you just had the big World Cup ritual with France, and if you missed our coverage of the World Cup, again, we nailed the prediction why Argentina would beat France the day after the Pope's 86th birthday, who's from Argentina, who's Pope Francis, the first Jesuit when the Jesuits are from France. Rambo just put out a video. And by the way, with regards to the 47 thing, Maradona, who was sacrificed by the numbers November 25th, 2020, in Tigray, connected to Argentina now winning the World Cup in the year of the Tiger. Remember, he had a ritual with Morocco as well. And that ritual, what it was paying tribute to in history, that event that he paid tribute to when he went back to Morocco, it's now 47 years later at the time his country wins the World Cup. In 2015, he went to Morocco for the 40-year anniversary of the Green March for the COP22 conference. From the anniversary of that, 75 to 2022's 47 years later, France 47 beat Morocco 107 weeks after Maradona died. Diego Maradona 107 like ritual sacrifice, and that set the World Cup exactly 107 weeks after his death. But also just the 47 factoring in. And again, the World Cup in tribute to the man at the Vatican, which was established in history on February 11th, 211, which is the 47th prime number. So let me change the audio settings here, and I will check in with you guys in the chat to make sure it's coming through loud and clear. But we're going to play Rambo's whole video, and I haven't seen it yet myself, but Rambo stuff is always good. And if you guys are not subscribed to Rambo's channel, please do subscribe. I see he eclipsed 7,000 subs. That's great to see. The truth codes, again, his videos, well, here I'm about to play. You'll see how good his videos are. He's gotten really good at making videos. And let's put it on. So I'm going to, once I start to play it, I'm going to take a peek at the chat. Let me, let's go full screen. And my eyes will be on the chat. You guys let me know if the sound sounds okay.
This is Rambo. These are the truth codes. The quadrennial World Cup of football/soccer is the grandest, most popular sporting event in the world. The big story in this edition of the World Cup has been the Cinderella team, Morocco, of Western North Africa. They defied the odds to reach the Final Four. Morocco lost to France in the semifinal, but regardless of that fact, and whomever ends up winning the tournament, or the third place game for that matter, it's the underdog story that most humans embrace. The Cinderella archetype is appealing to humanity, and Morocco will be the enduring story of the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. Even Netflix will be releasing a feature on Morocco's World Cup story from its Captains series. Esoterically, when we look at the history and influence of secret societies and the ancient traditions that they are rooted in, we will see at least some of the occult reasons as to why this particular, very unique World Cup of 2022 is the specific one in which Morocco should be in the spotlight. Of utmost significance is Morocco's relationship with the United States of America. The United States provides a profound esoteric basis for the coding of the World Cup narratives, even though it was eliminated and football/soccer is of limited interest in the United States compared to its religious status around the world. The United States is the dominant empire in the world and thus is significant to any world event. Morocco is the very first country to acknowledge the sovereignty and independence of the United States of America. Multiple themes have been scripted around the world in multiple world events, such as primarily war, with the Russia-Ukraine conflict ensuing. Wars involving revolution against colonial powers are occulted into the World Cup script. Another theme is birth and rebirth, completion of cycles and beginning of new cycles. Just look at the World Cup logo, the infinity loop, continuous cycles. The sacred star Sirius, which is always an esoteric theme for everything around the world. It is still revered today by elite secret societies who influence world events. At the 2022 World Cup, it is very much staged around the star Sirius, known as the Dog Star. July 4th was consciously and specifically chosen for the Declaration of Independence of the United States in acknowledgement of the sacredness of the star Sirius. On July 4th, Sirius is aligned directly opposite Earth on the opposite side of the sun. This is not the only sign of American Sirius celebration. Sirius was represented through the goddess Sopdet in ancient Kemet. In ancient Egypt, they call themselves Kemet. The goddess Sopdet was Sirius. She was the anthropomorphism of the star Sirius. And Sopdet was represented by a pentagram, a long pointy triangle, an oval, and a semicircle. Those four symbols together represented Sopdet, who represented the star Sirius. These four Sirius symbols are encoded into the U.S. capital, Washington, D.C. The pentagram is the Pentagon. The triangle is the Washington Monument. The oval is the ellipse and or the Oval Office. The semicircle is the dome of the Capitol. Sirius is the pentagram in the iconography of ancient Kemet/Egypt. Freemasonry sometimes also uses the pentagram to represent Sirius. The Temple of Hathor in Dendera, Egypt, features white pentagrams on a blue background. This is on the famous ceiling. The number 50 is associated with Sirius, which is a binary star. It's two stars, Sirius A and Sirius B. From a distance, it appears to be one star. It's actually two stars. The orbital cycle, and this fits in with the theme of revolution, the orbital cycle of Sirius B around Sirius A is 50 years in Earth time. 50 is a Sirius code number for this reason, the orbital cycle of Sirius B around Sirius A, 50. Here, white pentagrams are depicted on a blue background from the Temple of Bastet in Egypt. A pentagram is Sirius. 50 is a number of Sirius. Where do we see 50, the number of Sirius, its binary star orbit cycle, pentagrams on a blue background? This is why 50 was chosen for the number of states in the United States. The huge landmass could have been carved up into any number of states, but 50 was specifically chosen. And why were they represented by pentagrams on the flag? Because the United States of America honors the sacredness of the star Sirius. So again, July 4th was chosen for U.S. Independence Day because of the alignment of Sirius, Earth, and the Sun at the time. A time after which the Kingdom of Morocco was the first to acknowledge United States independence and sovereignty. From the U.S. State Department website, state.gov, quote, Morocco was one of the first countries to recognize the newly independent United States, opening its ports to American ships by decree of Sultan Mohammed III in 1777. Morocco formally recognized the United States by signing a treaty of peace and friendship in 1786, a document that remains the longest unbroken relationship in United States history. The only site on the United States National Registry of Historic Places that is not in the United States is its former diplomatic property in Tangier, Morocco, which is now a museum. Such is the significance of the United States-Morocco relationship. The symbol on the Moroccan flag and on the badge of its national football/soccer team is the pentagram. In 1578, Portugal, which lies to the immediate north of Morocco, attempted to invade and colonize Morocco in what has been called the Battle of the Three Kings. It can also be called the Battle of Three Kings or the Battle of the Three Kings. From Encyclopedia Britannica, Battle of the Three Kings, also called Battle of the Wadi al-Mahazin. Defeat dealt the invading Portuguese armies of King Sebastian by the Sadi Sultan of Morocco, Abdel Malik. The massive upset of Portugal by Morocco in the 2022 World Cup was a ritual reprise of the 1578 Battle of Three Kings. Three Kings can be a metaphor for Orion's belt, which are the easiest stars to identify in the sky. The three stars closely aligned in a neat row as if by conscious design. They point to Sirius beneath it. Interestingly, the flag of Washington, D.C. has three stars, which, given D.C.'s coding with Sirius and Sirius's association with Orion's belt, is probably the Three Kings, the three stars of Orion's belt. On an esoteric level, an unofficial level, DC is Sirius. The three stars on Washington, D.C.'s flag is Orion's belt. In the case of Morocco, the Three Kings are the invading Portuguese king allied with a deposed Moroccan former king against the standing Moroccan king who was victorious. These are Orion's belt, while the pentagram on the Moroccan flag is Sirius. The main reason that Sirius is specifically significant to this particular World Cup of 2022 is that this World Cup is an anomaly. World Cups have always been held in the summer. Sirius is behind the sun from Earth's perspective during summer. That means that this is a unique and once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to have a World Cup when not only is Sirius visible, but Earth and Sirius are at their closest. This happens around Christmas. Orion's belt is the three wise men, also known as the Three Kings. Sirius is baby Jesus. Now, the rising sun on December 25th could also alternately be Jesus. The three stars align directly with Sirius on December 25th that point to the rising sun. This is the resurrected sun, when the arc of the sun starts to increase by 1 degree. It's a rebirth of the sun on December 25th. So Jesus could be Sirius, or Jesus could be the sun, the resurrected sun, the birth of the sun. Super shout out to Bilbo Baggins from the comment section, who brought to my awareness the professional football soccer team from Sweden named IK Sirius Football. The team has a pentagram on its logo. The team is also just known as Sirius. They just call the team Sirius. Sirius is the dog star, which is why Sirius Satellite Radio has a logo of a dog with a pentagram for an eye. Morocco defeated Portugal in this World Cup in the final 8 and reenacted history's Battle of Three Kings. Wikipedia calls it Battle of Three Kings. It can be called Battle of the Three Kings or Battle of Three Kings. Look at the double alignment in Gematria between Battle of Three Kings and the name of this soccer team from Sweden, IK Sirius Football. They match in the English ordinal or simple cipher and in reverse Pythagorean, also known as reverse reduced cipher. English ordinal or simple cipher gives each letter of the alphabet a numerical value based on its order in the alphabet. So A has a value of 1 through to Z or Z having a value of 26. By this set of letter numerical value attributions, the letters that make up Battle of Three Kings and IK Sirius Football add up to 197, the 45th prime number. In the Pythagorean or English reduced cipher, the dog star has a value of 45. The Pythagorean or reduced cipher has single digits only. A through I is 1 through 9, as in the simple or ordinal cipher. Double digits, J through Z, 10 through 26, are reduced to single digits by adding the digits of the double digit value and deriving a single digit sum. J is the 10th letter. 1 plus 0 equals 1. So J equals 1. Through to Z, Z, 2 plus 6, 8. In the Pythagorean / English reduced cipher, the dog star has a value of 45. The 45th prime number is 197, which is the value of IK Sirius Football and Battle of Three Kings. IK Sirius Football and Battle of Three Kings also both sum to 100 in the reverse Pythagorean / reverse reduced, which is the same as Pythagorean / reduced, except that it starts with Z or Z as the first letter with a value of 1 and ends with A as the last letter with a value of 8. The 3 stars of Orion's belt are the Three Kings. Sirius is baby Jesus. The sun also could be baby Jesus. The current head coach in this important year for Sirius, 2022, very uniquely special year for Sirius. The current head coach at this time of the soccer team Sirius is named Christer. Christ as in Christ. His name is a Christ reference. And Jesus Christ can be a Sirius metaphor. In astrology, the most powerful energy is ascending or rising energy, the ascendant on the eastern horizon coming up in the sky. The constellation or sign on the eastern horizon is called the rising sign or the ascendant. Apart from the fact that this uniquely timed World Cup occurs near Christmas, which is allegorized as the 3 wise men announcing the baby Jesus Sirius at a time when Earth and Sirius are also at their closest in a yearly cycle. The 3rd place game at the World Cup between the 2 semi-final losers and the final game will both kick off with Sirius rising, ascending on the eastern horizon. In the tropical zodiac, the star Sirius is in conjunction with the sign of Cancer. It is always in Cancer. Sirius is fixed. The constellation of Cancer is fixed. So the conjunction with the star Sirius with Cancer in the tropical zodiac is fixed. Sirius doesn't move. It doesn't move to any other constellation. It is always in Cancer. This is where you get the phrase, as serious as Cancer. Jesus is said to have been born in a manger. Part of the constellation of Cancer, at the head of the imagined crab, is called the manger. On a tropical zodiac chart, you are looking south. When you look at the chart, you're looking south. So to your left, at 9 o'clock, is the eastern horizon. This is marked by the letters AC or AS or ASC for ascendant. The outer ring of the chart is the 12 signs that are moving clockwise. There are 12 signs and 24 hours in a day, so each sign ascends on the eastern horizon for 2 hours. To the right at 3 o'clock is the western horizon, or the descendant. Below the horizons are the signs that are not visible. They're below the earth. That's the bottom hemisphere. Ascending energy is particularly powerful in astrology. The outer ring is the 12 signs. In a 360-degree ring, each sign is 30 degrees. Each degree is made up of 60 minutes. So you measure the degrees of each sign in a zodiac pie chart going counterclockwise. So you start from 0 degrees, 0 minutes, and 1 second, going counterclockwise until you reach a maximum of 29 degrees, 59 minutes, and 59 seconds. So you'll never see 30 degrees on a zodiac chart. The highest number you'll see is 29 degrees, 59 minutes, 59 seconds. The star Sirius is located at approximately 14 degrees of Cancer. This is in the tropical zodiac, which does not necessarily line up with actual astronomy. This is mysticism. The signs are not all of the same size, equally, neatly, 12 signs of the same size. There are 13 signs, all of varying sizes in reality. The World Cup third place match between the losers of the semifinal will kick off at 1800 hours, 6 p.m. local time at the Khalifa International Stadium on Saturday, December 17th, 2022. The final will kick off at the Lusail Stadium at the same time, 1800 hours the next day. That's local time, on Sunday, December 18th, 2022. For the final game, the ascendant, that's rising on the eastern horizon, indicated at the middle of the chart, on the left side at 9 o'clock, indicated by AS, will be the sign of Cancer. Cancer is indicated by this glyph. This glyph represents Cancer. Every zodiac chart has a box next to it which indicates the sign and location of planet, sun, or moon, and ascendant in that sign. It mentions the degree of the location. It gives a degree and minute. So here we are looking for the ascendant. We see that Cancer is ascending. But where exactly on the horizon, that AS, which indicates the horizon, where exactly on the horizon, at what degree of Cancer is it? Well, that's where we refer to the box that you will see next to every zodiacal chart. It gives you the location of the ascendant or planets or the sun or the moon. Remember that Sirius is located at 14 degrees Cancer. At the time of the final of the World Cup in 2022, December 18th, Sunday, at 1800 hours, the ascendant will be at 13 degrees, 59 seconds Cancer. So Sirius will be ascending perfectly. This is precise. For the third place game the day before, Sirius will be at 13 degrees Cancer, which is still a Sirius conjunction with the ascendant. Sirius will still be ascending even then at 13 degrees. Cycles, the end of one cycle, the beginning of a new cycle. Birth and rebirth has been an underlying theme to what has been scripted drama and ancient ritual, which is what the World Cup literally is. It's scripted drama and ancient ritual. Ancient Kemet, which is what Egypt called itself Kemet, started its new year when the star Sirius reappeared on the eastern horizon at sunrise after being invisible behind the sun for 70 days. This event is known as the Heliacal Rising of Sirius. Modern Freemasonry chooses the 23rd of July to honor this occurrence, even though in modern times, the Heliacal Rising of Sirius actually happens in the second week of August. Freemasons choose 23rd July because the Heliacal Rising of Sirius started the new year in ancient Kemet. It was the beginning of a new cycle after the completion of an old cycle. The number that is key to calculating cycles and circles is pi, which is 22 divided by 7. 22/7, like the date, 22nd July. 23rd July is the start of the new cycle. In modern times, the yearly cycle ends on December 31st. When you spell out December 31st, it has a value in Gematria of 227. Like the cycle/circle number of pi, 22 divided by 7. Morocco's King Hassan II died in 1999 on the 23rd of July, the day after the 22nd of July, the beginning of a new cycle based on Sirius. Of course, 2022 is the birth of a new era after the death of a major monarch. So the deaths of major monarchs symbolize the end of an era and the beginning of a new era. That's why Morocco's king, and Morocco is very significant to the United States, died on the 23rd of July. That's a serious number, the beginning of a new cycle, the day after 22/7. From Morocco's victory over Portugal in the 2022 World Cup on December 10th to the next anniversary of the Battle of the Three Kings, 4th August 2023, which was a Moroccan military victory over Portugal, is 237 days. 237, like the day 23rd July. The Three Kings being a metaphor for the three stars of Orion's belt near the star Sirius. Remember that Sirius itself represents cycles, since it's a binary star, where Sirius B revolves around Sirius A. And Sirius will be on the eastern horizon at the start of both the third place game of Morocco versus Croatia and the final of France versus Argentina. Sirius is in permanent conjunction with the constellation of Cancer, the crab. At the head of the crab is a star called the Manger. Jesus was born in a manger. Jesus is the Messiah, which abbreviated is Messi. Argentina's Messi is the all-time great, taking over from the other Argentine all-time great, Diego Maradona, which sounds like Madonna, the mother of Jesus. So Messi, Messiah, and Madonna, Maradona. Baptism is a ritual rebirth. The Messiah was baptized by John the Baptist, whose nativity date is 24th June, the same nativity date as Lionel Messi. On December 25th, the line that connects Orion's belt and Sirius points to the rising sun, whose arc is born again, increasing by 1 degree on that day. This is the metaphor of the birth of the sun at Christmas. Argentina represents the sun with its national flag. On the other end, we have France, whose national symbol and logo of their national football team is the rooster. The rooster is related to the sunrise, the resurrected sun. In fact, the rooster is part of the Jesus narrative when he correctly predicts that Peter will deny him 3 times before the rooster crows. Big shout out to Serbian, who commented on my post on Zach Hubbard's GematriaEffectNews. Serbian observed that Jesus Messiah has a value of 1218, like December 18th, the date of the 2022 World Cup final. Maradona scored one of the most iconic goals in the history of football/soccer. He scored it using his hand, which is illegal in soccer, in the 1986 World Cup, which is the most recent World Cup that Argentina won. That goal has been dubbed the Hand of God goal. This Hand of God title is another allusion to the birth theme. Michelangelo's famous allegorical painting, The Creation of Adam, that features the hand of God, giving life to the first human. Lionel Messi enacted this birth hand of God ritual at this World Cup by blatantly, deliberately handling the ball versus Holland in the final 8 elimination game. Since it's all scripted ritual, he obviously did not receive the appropriate punishment for a deliberate handball. So with the rebirth and cycle theme well established, Al Janoub Stadium, a Khalifa International Stadium, the FIFA World Cup animated feature with the babies in wombs. We look at the gematria of birth, which is 57, like new beginning. In a 57-day stretch beginning with the World Cup final is the Super Bowl 57, that features the ultimate birth figure, Rihanna. And the 2022 World Cup logo is the Rebirth Infinity Loop. Thank you for watching. If you have not, please subscribe. If you have subscribed, thank you. And by all means, take care.
All right, so that was Rambo's presentation, his latest presentation. Again, if you guys are not signed up for his channel, it is the Truth Codes. I'm surprised he didn't show how game equals 26 like God and Jordan equals 26. But they do. And if you guys haven't read my first book, Letters and Numbers, the first chapter is on why there's a 26-letter alphabet. Yeah, he's got a lot of great videos on his channel, so please do subscribe to Rambo. And another person who did some really excellent work during the World Cup was Script Unveiled. And just since we're doing the makeup TFR tonight, here's from a different coder's perspective, his take on the World Cup. And if you guys aren't subscribed to Script Unveiled, please subscribe over there. Let's watch his 6-minute World Cup recap. Here we go.
All right, welcome back. Sunday, December 18th, 2022. More rituals in the world of football as Argentina win the World Cup. As you can see, we called this match 3 days in advance, and we called Argentina to lift the World Cup over 8 months ago. So without further ado, let's get into the most scripted game of all time. 44 years after Argentina first won the World Cup, 44-year-old Lionel Scaloni gets his 44th career win, keeping Didier Deschamps on 44 World Cup points. The YouTuber iShowSpeed made a World Cup song 44 days before the final. Today, a span of 4 months and 4 days after the anniversary of the Jesuit Order's foundation like 44, Argentina, the champions at Lusail Stadium in the World Cup final, all 44. 193 days before the anniversary of their last World Cup triumph, they win the championship, 193 the 44th prime. Argentina get their 22nd all-time trophy in the 22nd World Cup in 2022, making France 2-2 in World Cup finals like 22 weeks before the anniversary of FIFA's foundation. Diego Maradona died 22 days before the Pope's birthday and 22 weeks after Lionel Messi's birthday. Today, Gonzalo Montiel scored the winning penalty in his 22nd match with Argentina. FIFA, Satanic, and Messiah, all 22. Sergio Aguero retired last year aged 33. The match ends 3-3 like 33 as Argentina improves to 3-3 in World Cup finals like 33, 1,617 days after the 2018 World Cup final, the number 1,617, the 33rd pentagonal number. The World Cup started 33 weeks before Argentina Independence Day. Today, they get their third World Cup win against France, staying on 3 losses against them like 33. Qatar, Sunday, Masonry, and Argentina, all 33. Lionel Messi stayed in room 201 at Qatar University. Diego Maradona made his World Cup debut on the day leaving 201 days in the year. Argentina won the Finalissima against Italy a span of 201 days before the World Cup final. Argentina World Cup and the full name of FIFA, both 201. The Jesuit Order, 201. Ignatius of Loyola, the founder of the Jesuit Order, his name, 201. Jorge Mario Bergoglio, the full name of the first Jesuit Pope, Pope Francis, 201. He's the first Pope to live in Suite 201 at the Vatican, and the name of the suite, Domus Sanctae Marthae, also 201. The World Cup final took place 188 days before Lionel Messi's birthday and 188 days after the anniversary of Diego Maradona's World Cup debut. Greatest of all time, Lionel Andres Messi, and 2022 World Cup Qatar, all 188. Today, 26 weeks and 6 days before Lionel Messi's birthday, like 266, in the time of the 266th Pope of the Roman Catholic Church, greatest of all time, Lionel Andres Messi, and the Jesuit motto, Jesus Hominum Salvator, all 266. The day after Pope Francis of Argentina turned 86 years old, Argentina are champions of the world for the first time since '86. Diego Maradona died a span of 86 days after the anniversary of his meeting with the Pope. Blood and human sacrifice, both 86. Pope Francis of Argentina was born in 36. Diego Maradona died on the day leaving 36 days in the year. The Emir of Qatar was born on June 3rd, written 3/6 like 36. Coming into the tournament 36 matches unbeaten, Argentina win the World Cup for the first time in 36 years. A span of 36 days after the anniversary of his last hat-trick for France, Kylian Mbappe scores a hat-trick in the World Cup final, improving to 36 goals for France. IHS and hat-trick, both 36. Lionel Messi gets the 42nd trophy of his career. Having last beat France on the 42nd day of the year, Argentina win 4-2 on penalties and get $42 million as world champions. Final, masonry, and championship, all 42. And finally, Argentina came into the World Cup with 144 points. Today, on the 144-year anniversary of Qatar National Day, Lionel Scaloni gets his 144th career point. Jesuit Order, 144. So there you have it. Argentina's scripted 2022 World Cup win. Check out the Patreon for more accurate picks. The link will be in the pinned comment down below.
All right, so that's script unveiled. Jesuit, of course, equals 42, as does the word Freemason. And just to remind people about it being the day after Pope Francis' 86th birthday and them not winning since 86 when Maradona won it. Again, the last French Pope in the history of the Catholic Church died on the 86th day of the year, March 27th. He was also the 201st Pope. And then Pope Francis, he became Pope 86 days after his birthday on March 13th, 2013. He's born December 17th. And again, Jesuits in Gematria equals 86. So Jesuit rituals all over the place. And again, a pretty easy future to call. Argentina over France looked like the strongest narrative, especially with France falling to 2-2 in championships in the 22nd World Cup. And I'm trying to remember what the name of the word is that they had Messi wearing. Bear with me while I go to my Twitter page for a minute, because I documented this. He wore this weird thing that looked like a gown when he lifted the championship. I want you to get a load of this real quick. I just got to scroll back to the post. I know I got it documented. There he is at the Western Wall in Jerusalem. Okay. There he is winning the thing. Hold on. I documented this. Oh, yeah. I'm not even sure how you pronounce this word. A bisht. I don't know how you pronounce it. A bisht. Reaction to Lionel Messi wearing a biche. Yeah, I've never seen one of these before, or this word, while lifting trophy. But I mean, just again, just how 22 they got to get with it. Remember, out of the 4 base ciphers, the most pure cipher is the alphabetic order with the rules numerology. And in that cipher, FIFA is 22. But that word, whatever they have him wearing, is 22. You know? I mean, just the ritualism, it's never ending. And you know what? Since we're looking it up, let's see what it is. Let's see what that thing actually is. Like, where does it come from? Clothing. It's an Arabic word. Okay, that makes sense because they had it in the Arabic nation of Qatar. And remember, Qatar equals 78 like Jesuit, and Argentina also won in 78, 44 years earlier, where Argentina's 44. The name of the stadium where the championship was 44. Remember, the championship 44 years ago was Argentina over Netherlands. You had Grant Wall, the football journalist, die during that match where Argentina defeated Netherlands on the 44 date numerology. But okay, it's a popular cloak in the Arab world. Okay. According to ancient Christian and Hebrew paintings, a similar robe was worn in the days of Jesus. Fits in with the whole Messi the Messiah thing. Okay. It's a reminder that riddles are always biblical. So. Okay. Yeah, just for the fun of visiting other people's videos. Another person trying to take a shot at me with a quick clip. Zachary K. Hubbard isn't really Zachary K. Hubbard. Okay, let's watch this clip and then address it. See if you guys can figure it out before I even address it. But here, we'll watch the clip. Here we go.
Also clued me in with the whole numbers thing was Skull and Bones. And then all this time, it's like, oh, in a way, I kind of got the numbers. I mean, my name's not really Zachary K. Hubbard, and I didn't know that equaled 149 when I created that email account probably back in 2002 or 3 or whenever it was. I mean, my name's...
What? So I actually left a comment, and the person who made the video said, why do you care so much? And it's like, okay, well, you're trying to make it seem like I'm not Zachary. Well, the point I was making there, here, let me put myself back on the screen. Again, the point I was making in that clip is that, because you know how people are always writing Zachary K. Hubbard equals Skull and Bones, the point I was making that's not really my name, because my name is Zachary Keith Hubbard. So anyway, people will be like, oh, more proof that he's Joshua Greenblatt. I'm just making the point that my real name is Zachary Keith Hubbard. So anyway, it's a troll post because that's why the instant response is, why do you care? It's like, well, why do I care? Why are you making this video trying to, again, add to the false rumors and lies and slanders? You know, and it's sad that I don't search my name and it's not somebody resharing any of the awesome videos I've put out in recent times. It's always some crap like this. But also, Allie at NetVoid's been going, she's been very busy, you know, just responding to a lot of the videos made about me. She recently asked, she's advocating for me to quit Truth Frequency Radio because she thinks it's a deceptive network. Again, I've expressed a million times that I have all sorts of concerns about Truth Frequency Radio, but as I continue to say, I think it's important that I stay on Truth Frequency Radio because I am the black sheep of the network, and for all the people that are on there for the constant Trump support and all that, I think it's good that some of them might come across my program that might make them think twice about if Donald Trump really is the truth. And then the other nice thing about TFR is it does have the call board, which allows us to have a proper call-in radio show where people can call in and wait patiently in line and have their call answered in the order that they called in. So, and again, like, you know, she's saying, if Chris Geo looks like he could be a bad guy. Again, I do not know Chris Geo in person. But what I can say is he's continued to allow me to put out the message for 6 years on his platform. And because of that, we've definitely reached some people that we otherwise would not have reached. And it's just like how I don't like CNN or Fox News or MSNBC or BBC. But if any of them ever phoned me up and said, hey, do you want a time slot on our program? I would gladly go on there for the sake of reaching other people. Of course, we know that's never going to happen. But again, I mean, you got to go on other platforms, even if you don't agree with it, to reach other people. And the point of doing the work is reaching the other people. That said, I do appreciate Allie. And you guys might recall about a year ago is when we had the two very strange deaths of hosts on the TFR network. And my eyebrows were definitely up. And yeah, I do have some questions about TFR. But I don't have any hard evidence one way or the next. And again, if you guys tune in late, this is going to be the makeup TFR episode. We started by talking about why Zelensky is in D.C. 47 weeks after his birthday. And I saw Gary was in the chat and he said, what do you guys think's up with the bomb cyclone right before winter? Pretty much my take on that is, again, they want to reduce carbon emissions, right? They want to reduce carbon emissions. What's a good way to reduce carbon emissions for the holidays? How about have severe weather all across the nation to keep people in their own homes rather than making that commute to where the relatives are, where the family are? That's the way I see it with the weather warfare. Terrible storm that's supposed to blanket much of the nation just in time for Christmas. Again, weather warfare, first admitted to August 15th, 1952 on the Jesuit order's birthday. Our government, about 50 years of weapons testing, detonating huge explosives way up high in the sky. Terminology in the last decade, again and again, of the bomb cyclone. So, that's my take on it. Since this is the TFR makeup show and we'll go a bit longer, if you guys would like to phone into the show, again, I think the best way to phone into the show rather than call in is just hit the link. Let me post the link if you want to join. Just enter the link. I'll post it again and make it the top pin post. If anybody wants to come on, anything to share relevant to the Christmas time, the Saturnalia time, something going on in the news right now, welcome to join the show. Again, this is the Makeup TFR broadcast. I will not be doing TFR tonight because Sweet Lady's mom had a stroke, and instead of doing the show, I'll be spending time with Sweet Lady tonight because obviously she's upset about what happened to her mother. And yeah, it's too bad that it has to happen at this time. Her mother's been going through some health things for a minute, but the stroke happened today, so let me see. Okay, I just pinned it if you would like to join the show, if you got something to share. And while we wait for anyone to join, I will check in with the chat, see if anyone's got any good comments. Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, thanks for the prayers. Thanks, Rob. Thank you, Bamboo. Yeah, again, Sweet Lady's mother she's pretty old. Again, Sweet Lady is, well, Sweet Lady's actually the 7th child born in the family. One of her siblings died when they were an infant. So there's six, including her, there's 6 of her siblings alive. She doesn't exactly know her mother or father's age. Again, they're born in a third world country. They don't keep birth records. She says her own parents don't even know what day they were born. So, and she's not exactly sure how old her parents are. But when I look at her parents, I assume that they're probably close to 80 years old. I'd say late 70s at the earliest. So they're not young, but, it's sad nonetheless. And her mom's been having some health battles for a while, so. Yeah, and the other thing that's sad is her parent or her family. Again, for people not familiar with Burma, it's last year we were hearing a lot about Burma because the military overthrew the country, but Burma has the longest ongoing civil war in the world, and the reason it has the civil war is because it's divided into 7 different states. Burma, if you don't know, it's about the size of Texas. It has a population of 50-some million people, and it's divided into 7 states. Her state's called Kachin State, and her state is the most heavily armed state, and it's a Christian state. It's the Christian state in Burma. Other states are Muslim. Other states are Buddhist. But there's always been a lot of warring between the factions, and it's all over religion. But she happens to be in the state that was settled by, go figure, Catholic missionaries, and Christianity is very common there. So her parents are very Christian, And then, it's just sad for him because, of course, it's Christmas. They're coming up on the big Christian holiday. And then, her mom has a massive stroke right before it. So, like I always say, and it was said many times before I started saying it, life is stranger than fiction. Well, I think that's true in a lot of places in the world where they don't keep track of their birthdays, They don't have the records keeping, and yeah, I think you go to third world countries, that's not too uncommon. So in more recent times, they keep those records, but just when her parents were born, she knows what her birthday is. Her birthday is June 25th, but her parents do not know. All right, well, we haven't had anyone join the show, so here, we'll try it the other way. Since this is the TFR makeup, and normally we take people's calls, I will open up the phone line, and you guys can call him. All right, if you guys want to call in, it's not the TFR number because we're not on the TFR call board. It's the 509 number, 509-560-4982. Again, 509-560-4982. Again, this is the TFR Makeup Show. So now is the time to get that call in. Somebody said we're born 27 days apart. I think technically, well, it's a span of 27 days. You could say I was born 26 days after her. What's up, 267?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going. You got to mute the video.
Okay, mute the video. All right.
There you go.
How you doing today, Zach? I'm calling from Philadelphia. I was looking forward to you coming down to Philadelphia when you went to New York. Hopefully another time I'll catch you.
Indeed. I got to make it there. I'm so disappointed I didn't get to finish that trip because I still haven't been to Philly. I still haven't been to D.C. I still haven't been to Atlanta, and I got to get to all those places. But, yeah, go ahead.
Philadelphia is 101 and, 223, and you know the rest of the numbers. But what I wanted to ask is, have you read across the guy named Jurassic Liars? And I was wondering what you think of him. I'm also a member of the Patreon for you. You're a Patreon, but I just wanted to know what you thought of him or if you had heard of him.
I'm very much aware of him. He's made a bunch of videos saying that I'm a Jewish shill named Joshua Greenblatt, which is false, just like how he's predicted Seattle to blow up about 500 times and been wrong every time. And in fact, he actually made a video saying I was going to die because he knew I was going to Seattle for the March for Our Lives thing to blow up their rally as I did. And while I was out there, trying to wake up the sheep, he was out there putting out false fear porn, even suggesting that I was going to die because I was going to Seattle the day it was going to blow up. And as we know, Seattle didn't blow up. So, yeah, and again, another big Jesus guy, so a guy that's asleep at the wheel.
Super Christian.
Yeah.
Super Christian. Yeah, so, I'm pretty familiar with Dan Barrett, and of course I've been using the GematriaEffectNews calculator, and I'm just happy to talk to you one time, and I just wanted to ask that question. That's all, Zach. Appreciate your work.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you for the support, and yeah, we will meet someday. I will be back out there. I appreciate it.
All right, my name's Asar, Zach. A-S-A-R.
Okay, I'll remember that when we meet up. Thank you.
All right, thanks a lot, man. Take it easy. Have a good night.
Yeah, take it.
And my condolences. Not my condolences, but just tell Sweet Lady that people out here and our families in our prayers.
I appreciate that. She'll appreciate that, and I'll pass that on to her. Thank you.
All right, awesome.
Yep, take care.
Back to listen to the show.
Thank you.
Peace.
607.
Yo, Franco Harris's birthday is March 7th, and you can write that 37 or 73.
Right.
His full name is 160 in the most simple cipher.
We covered that. Tomlin's on 160 wins.
Yeah, and Mike Tomlin got his 160th win against Carolina 73-37.
73 is the 21st prime, and the news breaks on the 21st. Yeah.
And Panthers is 38 like death. And now they play the Raiders, which is also 38.
Exactly. Did you watch the stream I did earlier today?
I watched some of it, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And then on another topic, Aaron Judge was named the 16th captain today in Yankees history. And winter solstice and New York Yankees have direct overlap in 3 out of the 4 ciphers.
Yeah, that's true. 191, 65, 187. Yeah.
And the official time of the solstice was 47 after the 4 o'clock hour, 4:47. And Judge,
somebody made a point earlier that Franco Harris's name in Jewish gematria is 448, and the source he saw said it was at 448. Sometimes, depending on where you look, sometimes those things will be a minute apart, but either way, it is interesting.
In your stream earlier about Franco Harris, did you mention how Carolina equals 73 and 37?
Say it again. Did I mention what?
Did you mention that Carolina equals 73 and 37, being that Tomlin got his 160th win versus Carolina?
Oh, sure, and just how that ends up factoring in with Harris, who dies right after. No, I didn't think about that. I just thought more about how, just right before the Raiders game in Las Vegas, Raiders 160. So.
Yeah, that's why I thought the Panthers were going to win. Like, I didn't see like what you had. I thought the Panthers were going to win, and then so he could pick up the 160 versus Las Vegas Raiders, which equals 160. But now in hindsight, I see that since Harris's birthday is 3/7 and Carolina is 37, and you can write that date 73, Carolina's the 73-37 team.
Right.
So that's why that happened.
Yeah, you're right. That's a good observation. So he picked up the win against a team that had numbers like Harris. Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
All right, appreciate it, man. Thank you.
All right, Zach.
All right. Yeah, take care.
Peace.
For the record, that guy's a huge Carolina Panthers fan. He always sees the NFL through the lens of the Carolina Panthers. The number to call in is 509-560-4982, or you can join the show by clicking that pin link, which should be at the top of the live chat. So, again, this is the makeup TFR episode because I'm not going to be able to do it tonight. 623, you're on.
Hey, what's up, Zach? It's Math 2Con.
Yeah, what's going on?
What's up, man? Just been grinding super hard at this gematria stuff, and I can't thank you enough. I already got a decode on Franco Harris. I just wanted to throw in a few points. I did watch the stream earlier. I don't think I heard them, but I got a few for you here. Okay, Franco Harris has a record 354 total yards in Super Bowls. Rushing.
Did he die on the 354th day of the year? Oh my God.
What's that?
He has 354 yards rushing in the Super Bowl, and he died on the 354th day of the year.
Yes.
Yeah, yesterday an NBA coach picked up his 354th win on the 354th day of the year. It's amazing how they do it. So.
Yes, and I got a few more here. The guy who first used the phrase immaculate reception, his name is Myron Cope, and that syncs up with New Jersey, where Franco Harris is from, 124 and 119. 2 out of the 4 main ciphers.
Huh.
Also, he's actually born in Fort Dix, New Jersey, Franco Harris. It syncs up with Immaculate Conception in 2 out of the 4 ciphers. It's got 212 and 86. So, anyways, I just want to hear. I know I've been promoting myself a lot. That's why I've been trying to kick down some donations. But yeah, I've been working really hard to get this work out to everybody. I'm doing like you said. I'm trying to add to the work. I'm not trying to imitate what I learned from you. I'm just kind of trying to add to the work with my own decodes. So I just wanted to get on here and show my appreciation.
Yeah, you're doing great work. Keep it up. And if you guys could go over and subscribe to Math2Con, help them get up to about 1,000 subs. I mean, you guys, that would be a great thing to do. That's the ultimate Christmas gift you can give to a YouTuber. Give them a sub. Go in their video. You guys, I know that they're taking away likes and comments, but still just make the effort anyway to help it out. If all things that help out the algorithm, a like and a comment. And I know that they're taking them away, so it takes it down anyway. But if everybody's doing it, it still ultimately has to help. If you just even write a word, great, exclamation point. I mean, that comment's better than nothing. Again, honestly, I don't even have a lot of time to watch most of those videos, but I will constantly go in and hit the like and just leave a comment like, keep up the great work. And even if I can only watch 30 seconds of the video. But yeah, give everybody in the Gematria community a sub. Keep up the good work, Matt2Con. Appreciate it, man.
Hey, one more point real quick, Zach.
Okay.
Okay, so also Franco Harris is dead 322 days after his draft anniversary.
You've seen that one too many times. Yeah.
There's more. It just becomes too much, After a few points, it's like we kind of get it. But anyways, I appreciate you, and I'll let you go.
All right.
Next time.
All right. Thanks again, Matt.
Thank you.
Yeah. Take care.
Bye.
See you. Yeah, that's a great find right there, and it's just crazy how scripted it is. I mean, like I tell you guys, they script these games down to the box score. The guy with 354 rushing yards in Super Bowls dies on the 354th day of the year. I mean, come on, man. Yesterday, the Suns fall to 14-4 at home on the last full day of Sagittarius, which equals 144. Square root of 144, 12 in the 12th month. The zodiac, the sun, the 12 constellations, the 12 months. And that was a nice payout, of course. They were a considerable favorite, those Suns against the Wizards. 208. 208. It's hardly.
Let me call back on a different phone.
Can you make your phone louder somehow?
I'll call back on a different number.
Okay, do that. All right, he'll call back. Yeah, you guys, it's not the call board, it's my cell phone, so, I can pick up when the line is free. Marcus in Louisiana, I almost had your call, but Math2Con had a few more things to say. The line is open right now, so. All right, we got a call from 612. 612, you're on.
Hey, Zach.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, wow, I actually got through. I was never able to get it through on, that's not on TFR. I don't have any sports codes for you unless you want to talk about that crazy Vikings game the other weekend.
Just whatever's relevant, whatever's on your mind.
Oh, well, I just had a buddy who passed away after taking the cutie cure, we'll just call it that, in my opinion. And he took his third. And a month later, his girlfriend tells me that he's gone. The autopsy showed that there was a heart infraction, that oxygen wasn't going into the heart. And this is the most personal person. This is the most personal one for me. But I've heard of 3 or 4 others indirectly of people around my circles that this happened to. Just this year. And everybody goes on like it's okay. Everyone goes on like everything's normal. the big elephant in the room. No one talks about it. No one's accountable. No one's responsible. Nothing.
It's amazing. I told the story about my oldest cousin, who's pretty much old enough to be my dad, who's a higher up in the education for the state of Washington. You could say he's the most successful person in the family, but and not deservedly. But anyway, he had to get the shot, and he just happened to have a heart attack right after he got the shot. And my mom put out to the family, like, you guys better think twice about this jab. And all the response she got from the family is, "Oh, Donna, you're a crazy conspiracy theorist." I guess they all just think it's a coincidence. So,
yeah. And what remember, they had meters. They every day. I remember 2020, 2021, almost every day on the mainstream news, they had a count of how many people were quote unquote passing away. Put it that way. From the C-19, okay? They actually had meters. They were showing people every day, at such and such state or such and such city, 3,000 people, 10,000 cases. It was crazy. And where are all those? Where is all that? Where is all that data now? Where's the conversation?
Yeah.
Nothing at all, man.
Yeah.
Come on the rug like
Yeah. And I'm trying to remember which Canadian province it is where the leading cause of death in a province in Canada is unknown cause of death. It's Alberta, Canada. Alberta, Canada, the leading cause of death is unknown cause of death. So
crazy. Yeah. Thank you, Zach. That's all I have for you.
All right. Appreciate it.
Yeah, take care.
Yeah, you too. Yeah, looks like a lot of hot doses went to Alberta. I'd have to. I'm not too familiar with Canada, but I'd like to look at like what the population is in Alberta, or why that area might be more targeted. 208.
Yeah, it's me again. I'm calling back. Can you hear me better?
Is this 208 Productions?
Yes, sir.
You're the only one who calls him 208. Of course, it's got to be. What's up, man?
Hey, I was just thinking, the number, or not the number, kind of high right now, my bad. Color purple equals 34. Type it in, and I added it up. We know the Ravens scored 34 both times in the Super Bowl, and the Vikings scored 34 points in all their Super Bowls combined. If you add it up, they both wear purple. And purple teams are 2-4 right now, wins and losses.
Interesting. Yeah, good observation. Interesting.
Yeah. And then I'm sitting in the cold right now. It's pretty cold. The Vikings and the Steelers both Vikings lost to the Steelers and the Raiders in Super Bowls. Both teams connected to the Immaculate Reception. And then the Vikings were just in that huge ritual on the Pope's birthday. You know how important that often is. And Kirk Cousins is also 34 years old right now.
Yep. Yes, he is. Okay. Good thoughts.
Yep. Have a good one.
All right. Yeah. Take care, man. Thanks. Okay. Don't forget one of the nastiest rituals we've seen is Hollywood put out the film The God Committee, which is about a doctor who's researching how to make pig organs into genetically modified pig organs that will fit into human beings to help out with the transplant process, because there's so many people in the world who need transplants who can't get them because there's a shortage of organs. That's why the movie's called The God Committee, because it shows how the people at the hospital have to decide who gets the transplant and who essentially dies. And they go over, well, here's the reason to save this person. This is the reason we shouldn't save this person. So he's part of that committee, and he's trying to figure out a way to create enough organs to save everybody. And from the day that movie came out to the day we got the headline about the first person in the world getting a genetically modified pig heart surgically installed, just happened to be 201 days later. And if I remember right, I know that they reported that the person who got that genetically modified pig heart, I know they reported that that person died since they got the surgery. And if I remember right, they said that that person died 38 days later. Go back and double check that second part. I know the 201 part's right. Don't forget the God Committee equals Jesuit order happens to equal 72, just like we were talking about Franco Harris with the Immaculate Reception in 72, now dead at 72, days before his jersey gets retired when he was supposed to be there. Whoa. But yeah, if you haven't seen that movie, The God Committee, pretty interesting stuff. So again, if you guys want to call in, the number is 509-560-4982. This is the TFR Makeup Show. We'll not be able to do TFR this evening, unfortunately. And let's see. Kayla said, yeah, in that movie, there's a Dr. Pope. I forgot that part. Yeah, Kayla's always got the great observations. So, yeah, again, I mean, hold on. We got a call here first. Caller?
Yes.
You're on.
Okay, yeah, I think it was November the 18th, 2019. I became deathly ill, and that was just prior to, what was it, event 201. And then about a year ago, I had a heart attack, and I was in a motel. It might have been Cheddar's, and then about a month later, then I was in a motel with 4 other people, and we all became deathly ill, and I was near die, went down to 112 pounds. And I had long hair, and it's all gone. But I've given data. You know, I found your channel. YouTube recommended it in, what was it, 2013, and you were Zachary K. Hubbard's channel back then. And I followed you for a long time, and I've made comments over the years, and probably as late as 2019. And my problem is that I followed you all this whole time, and it's gematria in terms of stopping malevolence. You know, the triad, trinity, trifecta, the 3 city-states, Vatican, London, finance, and DC, the mercs of planet Earth. But in terms of me following it and doing it, I can't integrate it into my life because it's, for me, it's about as useful as me doing a daily crossword puzzle.
Okay.
You know, you're not able to stop the malevolence, and it's obvious we are in the middle of World War III with, of course, the Georgia Guidestones of March 22nd, 1980, declaring, you know, the 10 new commandments. The first one, reducing population to less than 500 million. You know, it's these de-evolved creatures, which I believe are definitely non-human. I've studied in Egypt twice with 2 learned Egyptian Egyptologists in 95 and 99. And I've done my due diligence since 1969 when I opposed the Vietnam War on ASU campus in front of Old Main that was co-opted. They had us do a sit-in instead of walking down Mill Avenue with signs opposing the war. And I've been a TI since 1969. My life has been hell from these mother Fletchers. And they're omnipotent in the regard that, you know, humans are genetically created inferiors, and I don't see any way how we can oppose these devolved, demented wraiths.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but at the same time, it's like they work very hard to control us. So that we see their tactics to control us: force, propaganda, indoctrination. If they did not have control over humanity, obviously they would be at a loss. And essentially that's what we're trying to do by putting out information and help people see the game for what it is. It does seem like it's a very difficult task, but again, that's the reason I put out the information each day, to see how we're being manipulated. Like I continue to say, if everyone was living like yours truly and maybe the way you are, I feel like their game would be broken. So
yeah, I was born in '54. I don't know, what organically what that matters or doesn't. And my first name and last name abbreviate the informal part of my first name is numeric 5, and the last name is numeric 4. So there's a lot of organic. There's been a lot of bizarre things with this so-called Virgin Temple in Peru. I've traveled the world extensively. I'm going to be age 69. And quite honestly, I've been alone for the last 22 years after a near-death motorcycle wreck when the VA tried to kill me off. That was the second time they tried to kill me off, literally. And I was a hospital corpsman in the Navy, so I know correct medical procedures or practices. And what they did, they tried to take me out. And soon I'll be 69. And I'm just looking at that symbol as, rather yin and yang. I was born, in 54, and it's coming up soon to be 69. I think, it's just going to be a one-pop affair. It's just, I'm ready to leave. I'm tired of this dementia. I've done 2,000 hours of research on the internet for the last 12 years because I'm a retired veteran. And I've my due diligence started in 1969 from ASU campus, and I've called in a number of times, and I identified, because you had Rambo, I called myself Old Man Bo.
Okay.
But I'm not trying to demoralize anybody, but I just don't see the point. My dad got insanely pissed off at my mother before the age of 3. I looked at the world at what's wrong with this picture, and I've been doing that since 1956. Looking at the crazy shit that's going down, and I feel like I'm odd man out. I'm on the wrong fucking planet.
Yeah, I totally hear what you're saying. The way you just expressed that's also kind of what Kurt Vonnegut would always joke about, that he feels like he was born on the wrong planet. But yeah, it is hard to stay optimistic in light of what's going on in the world, but I think we got to find a way to anyway if we're ever going to change things. So
one thing that does irritate me is people like Derek. He wouldn't have gotten anywhere if you hadn't prompted him to create the Gematrinator, and he just sounds like a jealous little prissy bitch. And there's this guy, Sports Gematria. And he did a video, and he was ragging on you. And of course, he's manipulated, your images with stills and with audio manipulation and visual manipulations, trying to make you look really stupid. Just, point of fact, I don't like gutter snipes and doing their little crap. So on his channel yesterday, I went through every single one of his comments to that video, and I railed and I pummeled on all those pinheads. I'm not saying this to engender myself to you or anything, but I just don't like pissants, little sniveling Pollyanna pissheads. He wouldn't have a name if it weren't for you, Sports Gematria. I mean, he ripped you off.
Well, that guy's been trolling me every day since 2015, and I just think what a miserable existence he must have, since it seems that the only thing he lives for is to harass and slander me. And yeah, I mean, if you enjoy doing that, go for it. But those trolls aren't stopping it. Yeah. Anyhow, I don't enjoy doing it. It's kind of sort of a little equilibrium, a little reciprocity. If you're going to be a bunch of sniveling, backbiting, creatures, then here, suck on this. So I hammered. I went through their whole stream, and I'm obviously I'm on my 61st or 62nd Gmail account because I put out irrefutable truth. I pummeled on Jeff C. on the way back down, who obviously is Stephen Molyneux, and they both vanished at the same time, And I hammered on Alex Jones way back. It was in 2013, 2014. I used to send him allegories, invent these hilarious allegories, and then I would get the punchline, deliver the date at the end, the right cross or left hook or whatever, and then get that in. And they allowed it, and then they finally didn't like it anymore. So then I figured out how to get to Alex. He's a big fat guy. He's hawking these health products at the end, but he's turned into a bigger and bigger pig. So I just put on one sentence, Alex, you have man-boy boobs. So then Alex created a video to me. Alex has never done that on planet Earth to anybody that just did a one-liner to him. He created a video where he was at this posh resort doing a selfie so you can see the interior of the room and the exterior of the room and how he's living big life. But he photoshopped his fat head on his older, more fit body. And legions descended on him and proved, what a fraud. I've hammered on people. It was at Manify, Team Wake 'em Up,
Russian squids, a call for a downsizing, and all these other putzes, these little pisshead gutter snipes. But in all deference, to you, Zach, because you have been at this hot and heavy, and you have completely changed, the Gematria investigation. There is one guy that does interesting things. His channel is Exposing the Dirty Few 2. He's out of Australia. He uses Pythagorean and Chaldean, and he keeps coming up with all these, with his diagnosis, or crunching the numbers, and 3366 and 911 or 199, others, and 133, and a lot of these, there's just this constant hammering of the same data coming back. So he's very thorough. He's only doing two codices or whatever. But, you might check him out. He's a good guy. He's really salty the earth. He's not a piece of shit. Eric 777, of course, is diligent and good. That's one of the solid guys that have been around. You know him well.
Indeed. Yeah, I got his channel up here on the screen. I just subscribed. I hadn't heard of him before, but based on what you're saying, I got to check it out. Exposing the Dirty Few 2. So.
Yeah, so that's the number 2, and those letters are all separate, and they're all lowercase, and he's an Aussie, and he's really salt of the earth. He's the real deal. He's not a sleazebag. He's straight up good guy.
Okay, I'm going to check out the channel. I appreciate that.
And the last thing, I'm blocked infinitum because I don't like emojis, particularly when they occur in 5s. That's the pentagram symbol. If it's a 3, that's a trinity, triad, trifecta. If it's a 3 and a 4, that's a compass and square. If it's 13 or whatever, that's the same. Rather, it's a different version of what you're doing. They're not used crunching gematria, but they're using symbolism, numeric symbolisms, with the use of emojis. That's just wrong. It's just all kinds of wrong. Not only that, it just looks infantile, and I put stuff on like use crayons next time, and stuff
Sure.
like that. But I'm perpetually blocked. I'm like, what am I, satanic? What is this channel? I'm on 61 or 62. This one is Satanic Vatican Nazi America with a K, and the other one's like Jesuit Vatican Satanic America. So those are two of my latest avatars.
Sure.
So I don't expect, I expect I'll always be blocked. I always put data over the many years, and then finally I just got really annoyed with, emojis aren't data. They're not information, they're not data. And I noticed that people put, and I call them the blue wrench wenches because they delete me. But it's just like they're just tag team, sort of sandbox gossiping. I want to see people put data on there. If they're not putting data on, I feel that it would discourage, more interested parties, to watch and subscribe. But it's got to be, the live chat needs to look a bit more professional. I appreciate your time, Zach. I know that you've done an incredible amount of work. I remember when your house was crashed, drove a car through your house, or some geezer stole your vehicle. Did he?
I didn't get my vehicle stolen, but I did have my car crashed through on Christmas Eve in 2016. So.
Oh, but he bought a vehicle that was just like yours.
Yeah, because that was in 2014, where he disappeared out of town for 2 weeks, and then when he came back, he had a brand new truck, which I know where he got the money for because I just helped him out before all this happened. He was out of work and needed some help, and then all of a sudden he has enough money to buy a $30-some thousand truck, and it wasn't hard to figure out what had happened. So
one last comment is that on that Sports Gematria channel, they were ragging on you hard, hot, and heavy. I hit every single one of them. I pummeled them into oblivion. One guy was saying, "Oh, Zach's skinny." Yeah, well, he's vegan, mother Fletcher. You're eating a rotting dead carcass, But every kind of ad hominem cheap shot that they were doing on that video, I spent hours last night, and I just pummeled the little bastards. Bunch of fucking ankle-biting chihuahua, gutter snipes.
Well, I appreciate you sticking up for me. Thank you very much.
I've been righteous since I was a child. I was original flower child. Our house was in the middle of ASU campus, where the psychology building is on campus, on McAllister in that corner. If there's any insight there, but But you know, I was the original flower child. I walk around the neighborhood as a preschooler, pick flowers for my mother, and gave them to my mother. Although she was an unloving, cruel creature, as both my parents, my 4 siblings. I've been a TI since opposing the Vietnam War moratorium on October 1969 on ASU campus. I have been a TI since then. I'm soon to be 69. I have been attacked so many mother-fletching ways that if it would take me an hour to tell you the hell that I have been through opposing these de-evolved maggots infinitum. I've been to Egypt twice, studied that, on the way back dial, and history's, 12,000 plus years old when they essentially caused the Great Flood, destroyed the ancient civilizations, the pyramids and free energy system, and replaced it with this prison planet slave to the grave hell.
Yeah. I hear it all. I understand everything you're saying. I understand your frustration. I'm just saying, I mean, we can't give up all the way. Otherwise, then it's over, like I always say. But I do know where you're coming from.
So can you at least alert your blue wrenches that, I will leave data. I know if they see my avatar, they go, oh, better well like that guy.
Yeah, I always the reason I give out so many wrenches is just so people can share information. And some people in the community are too quick to block people that they should not. So yeah, only block people if they're like porn bots or just total trolls, and it should be obvious if they're a total troll. But I do appreciate the call, friend.
You bet. Keep it going. And I don't know where the hell this is going, but maybe in 2 weeks, I think I'm going to use my exit visa. Seriously, I'm nearly 69. I'm tired of getting boo-fooed on planet Dirt. The breadth and width and dearth of it all. I'm sick of it, but keep going. If I'm not here, well, I hope you all prevail.
All right. Appreciate it, friend. Thanks for the call. You have a good day.
You too.
All right. Take care. 732. Hello.
Hey, this is Jackson.
Well, what's up, Jackson?
Is this Jack?
Yeah.
All right, so I wanted to just kind of touch on Kobe Bryant's death real quick. Have you looked into that?
I've done a lot of work on Kobe's death. I got a book with a huge chapter on Kobe's death. If you go to Gematria Effect Sports, the videos are still up on Kobe's death on that channel. They were deleted on my GematriaEffectNews channels because those channels got deleted. But
yeah, I love it. Yeah, I just looked into that. I thought that was amazing. I really love your work, bro. But oh my gosh, the 4.1 when he walked off the court, the age 41. But I just wanted to kind of talk about how that ties into LeBron and like basically what that relation is. Have you seen anything between that?
the relation between LeBron and Kobe's death?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot to it. He passed Kobe in points scored in Kobe's home city the day before Kobe died. He pushed. Go ahead.
I was talking more about his championship in the bubble. You see that?
Right, because LeBron won the finals on Father-Daughter Day, exactly 41 weeks after his birthday, in the year Kobe died at 41.
So basically, I just wanted to talk to you to kind of understand that more. What's like the significance of the 41 and how that's like how he breaks that down in his Gematria 41 is like Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bryant equals 41, LA equals 41, USA equals 41. 41's the 13th prime number, the land of 13 stripes, 13 colonies, 13 years of slave school. His daughter was 13. Again, LA equals 13 forwards, 41 in reverse. Big number with masonry. But yeah, big numbers with Kobe, his entire career. In my first book, before he died, Letters and Numbers, the chapter on Rig Sports, I talk a lot about Kobe in 41. That was put out in 2017, 3 years before he died. So
I'm amazed by this kind of stuff, but I guess I just get confused with like, does the person have like influence on this? Is Kobe aware of this stuff?
Well, he might very well have been. I mean, he did a short film for Nike with Kanye West and Bruce Willis where it ends with an exploding helicopter. Comedy Central put out the video with him crashing in a helicopter. I mean, is Kobe even really dead is a good question. I don't know if he's really dead. He supposedly died on the 41st day of the Pope's age while traveling from Catholic Mass.
Wow.
So.
Yeah, that is just mind-blowing. I kind of just want to touch on that. I didn't know if you looked into that.
Oh, yeah. Again, if you read my book, Letters and Numbers, Letters and Numbers is before he died, but Number Games. There's a huge chapter on his death in Number Games.
Okay, I'll look into that, man. Thanks so much.
All right. Yeah, you're welcome.
I really appreciate your work, man. I'm going to keep looking into this stuff.
All right. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Have a great night, Zach.
Yeah, you too. Take care. Shout out to Ezra. Ezra chipped in $5 on the Venmo. I appreciate that, Ezra. Yeah, again, you guys, I mean, I am thinking about going down to LA for the Kobe death anniversary. Get the speaker out, get the mic out, try and wake LA up.
Hey, Zach.
What's up, Itachi?
I just want to add to that Kobe thing real quick. Unless they changed it, he played 41 minutes and 13 seconds in Game 6.
Wait, who did? LeBron?
Check the box score. Yeah. We've documented all this. We have screenshots on Twitter. I don't know if you just search, Lakers Heat Game 6 box score, it should still be 41 minutes and 13 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah. You see it?
I'm not even going to look it up. I don't doubt it. That's kind of how they do things all the time.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. No, that's all I had for you. And then just right now, I checked Twitter. Jeannie Buss, the Lakers owner, just got engaged to has a new fiance or whatever. And immediately, like an hour after that story, they're like, reports that he's used the N-word on Twitter. And I just think it goes back to the 42 LeBron stuff, but that's something that may come up just because it's how especially Jeannie Buss is in an arranged marriage. They tell her, be with Phil Jackson, got to be with Phil Jackson, be with this guy, and the latest guy. It's some kind of race war ritual. So yeah, breaking news. I don't know if something else comes out of it, but that's all I had for you.
All right, appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yep, see ya.
Yeah, see ya. Again, just those rituals with the box score. It's like Kobe had so many 41s in his career, and then he dies at 41. Like his name, Gematria, is 41. Franco Harris, record 354 rushing yards in Super Bowls, dead on the 354th day of the year. I mean, and again, yesterday I was just making the point, a point I made a million times. These celebrities and entertainers, when they die, we just see how the numbers and the death are the numbers that connect to what they were remembered for in their career over and over. Somebody just sent me a video. What's his channel's name? Infinite Waters. I think the guy's name is Ralph Smart. He always says deep divers. Isn't that what he says? Deep divers? Is that what he says? Deep divers? I think that's what he says. Deep divers. It's like that guy's channels never got out of the kiddie pool. It's like if it wasn't a swimming analogy in deep water, he'd never have left the bunny slope, and he thinks he's a double black diamond skier. But again, I mean, because he's not really a deep diver, it's why his YouTube channel gets to grow to 2 million subs. It's just for the person who asked me about that channel and to give feedback on him, I mean, everybody has to wake up somewhere. I think everything on his channel is just fine, but I wish a guy like that who has a big audience would share something like this or share what I've been exposing about Michael Jackson's death and his This Is It tour. Shout out to Sarah Sutherland. Sarah Sutherland heard somebody else donated, so then she instantly felt compelled to donate. Thank you, Sarah. I'd already say you don't have to, but I can't stop you. She's just too generous out there, Sarah Sutherland. But all right, thank you, Sarah. Let's see. Yeah, he is a very positive guy. I'm not going to hate on him. It's just he just says deep divers. If I remember it's his phrase, I think he says it 5,000 times per video. Like it's a 10-minute video and half of it's just him saying deep divers. And I'm just like, where are we getting deep? Like you don't even need a snorkel. So. But yeah, I don't know. It's just this guy has. I remember years ago when his channel was newer and it had the same amount of subs as mine. I'm like, God, man, imagine if I had 2 million subs now. We might be changing the world. Well, I mean, Christmas. It's ultimately a pagan holiday. Again, you guys. 1225, the date of Christmas. The square root of 1225 is 35. And it's older than Catholicism, really. But again, it's the Catholic Church's calendar that we're on. It's, the English language. Again, the oldest known script goes back to a Catholic monk. So we're living in their world. And again, 1225, the square root of 1225 is 35. They're a sun cult. The old name of Jesus before they invented the J was Jesus, which also has the 35. You're celebrating his birthday on 1225. The old occult belief is that the sun is the eye of God. Eyes 35, like Genesis 3:5 is about the eyes of God. And they put the eye on the dollar bill in 1935. And how does the eye on the dollar bill look? Again, let's bring it up. Eye on dollar bill. Let's take a good look at that eye real quick. And we know it's all about. Well, here, again, the eye on the dollar bill has like sun rays coming off of it, right? Sun rays, like light. The eye, and money. I mean, they've got this world just like all set up in tribute to a giant financial system. It's that, we're having Christmas at the end of the year, big financial holiday. Everybody, making their big profits for the nice reporting at the end of the year for the shareholders. And it's amazing how when you become aware of it, it's like, look how perfect it is, how mathematical it is. Again, just as a reminder, in the base ciphers, Catholicism, or just... Yeah, Catholicism. Catholicism, 112, 185, 68, just like mathematics. 112, 185, 68. So 1225, not an arbitrary date. Again, the 359th day of the year, which is the 72nd prime number, Jesuit Order 72. We were talking about this with Franco Harris. Franco Harris had 54 days before the Super Bowl. At age 72, his big play in 72, the year he was drafted. Jesuit Order's logo is the sun 54. And again, Christmas, the birthday of the sun, as celebrated by the Catholic Church since the year 274 AD, when the Jesuit motto is Su Salvator is 274. But yeah, it all just starts to make more and more sense. Why the eye went on the bill in 35. OCL Vision Chat must just be some like pop-up thing. Okay. Shout out to Chase. Chase chipped in $2, cashed out on Packers game. Congrats to you, Chase. Way to go. Sarah Sutherland says, my daughter is laughing about how much I donate. She knows how much I love Zach. Well, you got a great mom there. Very generous. Tell her to save some more for you. Sarah, I mean, seriously, you don't ever have to donate again. You've already just donated a lifetime's worth. Let's go out to Nick. What's up, Nick?
What's up, Zach? How you doing, man?
Doing
so obviously today is the winter solstice, and what's amazing is that the Yankees, they named Aaron Judge the captain today.
Yeah,
Um,
and somebody called in about this already, but here we'll show them right now in real time how winter solstice overlaps with New York
yep,
Yankees.
yep.
Overlaps in 3 out of the 4 ciphers.
Yeah, and it's also 88, and Judge is 88.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you look at the time the winter solstice happened, it was at 4:47, and right, Judge is 47.
And just for the record, for people who don't know, Society of Jesus also has that 191, 187, in light of us being on the Catholic calendar. So.
Yeah, but yeah, just to see it, it's like, and then I mean, that Franco Harris news, that should, like, obviously we say this with basically everything that comes out, but like that should be able to wake up the entire world, especially the bit. I mean, it was against the Raiders, and now they're playing the Raiders, and it was in 72, and he dies at 72. It's just, I don't know. Whenever I see this stuff, I'm just like, man, the fact that you figured this out is, I know you'd probably say, oh, it wasn't that difficult, but I mean, truly, it's, I don't know, it's amazing, but yeah, so.
It is amazing, and it's just frustrating that people continue to ignore the work. And it's just like, I reached out to some of my friends who I haven't talked to since 2013, since they're both big World Cup fans, and I see that they saw the message, but they just don't even respond. And
Right.
It's just like, people just, their ego's too big. They can't admit it. So
Yeah, and I mean, it couldn't have been a more perfect matchup. I mean, the hometown of the Pope playing the hometown of the Jesuits. But that's where we should have, like, obviously you said Argentina, but the Jesuits served the Pope, so it's like France was sort of serving Argentina in that match, and I don't know. To me, in my head, that's why I felt Argentina would win, just because
he's from Argentina.
The Jesuits who served the Pope.
Yeah, he's from Argentina. They got Messi the Messiah right at Christmas time.
Yeah, and then you see the miraculous conception thing, and the hand of God. So, like, it's all connected throughout all the sports. But
right, and that's the thing that people should appreciate. Like, a lot of them be like, wow, right before the anniversary, and then they're like, wait a minute, okay, he's showing me that it started on, the season began on the Virgin Mary's birthday, and it's the 103rd season, and it's 103 days later. I mean, the work's just been undeniable. Again, you guys, when I found this in 2013, my work was a lot simpler, but it made sense in the beginning what I was presenting. And again, I mean, what was frustrating to me is back then I was still in the world of teachers. So a lot of the people I was in communication with were teachers and coworkers and people who I went to grad school with. And again, this world of teachers, they were all like, oh my God, Zach's lost his mind. I think Zach developed mental illness. And it's just like, and you guys, I mean, these are, and I don't mean to put down these people. They're probably not watching anymore anyway, but I always knew that my fellow coworkers and the people I went to school with, none of them were that smart. And so it's just like, and I was like, well, I mean, most people going to teaching, they're not that smart. I knew this from being a student. And, not a lot of people have a desire to become a teacher because it hardly pays anything. I went into it for a different reason. But yeah, again, it's just like, that's the problem. It's like the people aren't smart enough and they think the truth is some kind of mental illness. So I don't know what to do about it. It's crazy.
Yep. And I'm noticing more and more, if you look at like the NFL's Instagram page or like the MLB's page, you'll see people are bringing up these coincidences, in air quotes. They'll be like, oh, like, what are the odds that Franco Harris dies like 3 days before, that catch? But then you see people are going against that claim, and they're saying, oh, like, you're bringing up these crazy conspiracies. And so, like, the word is getting out there, but in the majority of people, there's like this conditioning or programming that you talk about, and it's like it doesn't allow them to see past, it potentially not being a coincidence. But there is definitely, the word is definitely getting out there. There's this one streamer that I used to watch when I was younger. His name's Los Pollos TV, and he definitely caters to a younger audience, right? And there was one stream, this was probably a few months ago, but it was this video, I'm sure you saw it, or the guy that made it was influenced by you, but it was this video basically about Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, like 666, and like how all these crazy things sort of happened through the number 6 in the NBA. And literally, I swear, everybody in the comment section was saying, oh, this is Gematria, like everybody should know about Gematria. And it's this chat of younger kids, like over 1,000 people talking about, your work. So to me, that sort of shows that it is being put out there. But, there's this suppression, which is the internet, because, we don't control the internet. It's different forces that are in control of that. But that sort of was like a hopeful thing that I saw. But again, at the end of the day, it's like it's up to the individual person, to be able to see it. But like that was sort of like a hopeful thing. I kind of wanted to share that with you. You know what I mean? Like
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, there's just, yeah. But to your point, yeah, I mean, people are, the ego is the worst thing. It's because they don't want to think they've been tricked. But we've talked about this a lot before. But I sort of changed the subject. But the show South Park.
Uh-huh.
Did you know there's an episode titled 201 in South Park?
It's the band episode too, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, and it has all like the prophets in it, like Muhammad, Jesus Christ, just so they're definitely telling you something there. But
Indeed.
Yeah, man. But yeah, it's been a minute. I just wanted to say what's up. Just that Franco Harris news, that was just, it just hurts my head, honestly, because it's like, man, how do people not see this? But I don't want to extend my my stay. But hey, if people want to check me out, I have an Instagram, YouTube. I'm trying to get to like 1,000 subs. I'm at about 200 right now. But
what's your YouTube?
Yeah, it's Nick C. Truth. You actually left a comment on it the other day. I made that video with Pope Francis and like the flood, the drought news on CNN.
Indeed.
In Lake Mead.
Indeed.
Yep. So yeah, people want to.
Nick C. Truth subs up, you guys. Is at about 200 right now. And again, if everybody in the chat subbed, he'd be up to 500, and then it could grow from there. Everybody watches it later. Yeah.
Thanks, Zach.
Yeah. All right, keep it
up.
All right. Appreciate it.
All right, thanks, Zach.
Yeah, have a good one.
You too.
By the way, the 40 Central podcast, I'm going to go back on there with them sometime soon. I was watching their stream they did after mine. They were celebrating making it to 1,000 subs. I heard them say that they'd really like to get their channel monetized, but they don't have enough watch hours yet. If you did not watch my interview yet with them, if you guys could go there and watch the interview, that'll help them get more hours. If you haven't subbed there yet, you just want to check out their other content. But yeah, that would be a nice thing to do. Go on the 40 Central podcast, give them a sub. If you didn't watch the interview, it's the one that says right there, GematriaEffectNews featuring Zach. And yeah, I mean, again, help these guys get their channel monetized. All you got to do is watch a few more hours of video. I imagine if 100 more people went there and watched the whole thing from beginning to end, they'd probably have enough hours. They said they're getting close. All right, let's go out to Open Up. What's up, Open Up?
Yo, what's up, Zach? Can you hear me good?
Yes, I can.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's going on?
Okay. All right, cool. It's funny you were just talking about 40 Central. Right before I joined, I was going to call in to talk about that a little bit. But I called earlier today, and, when I first found your work, I did try to put it on my parents. And my parents are from Africa. They're Nigerian. I'm Nigerian as well. And the story that I gave them was the one about the killing at the church in Nigeria. So that was like the first thing that I showed them. And I mean, they were kind of receptive a little bit, but not really. But the thing about 40 Central that I wanted to mention is that I want to give a suggestion to everyone in the chat. Like, if you have people that, or if you have family that you're going to be meeting up with, like during this holiday season, I think that 40 Central stream is a good one to play, like when you have all your family together, because the way that Zach explains, the gematria to them is like from the bottom, from the foundation, so that it's a kind of easier way to bring people in, because it starts off from people not knowing anything, which is what the case was for two of them on 40 Central. So what I'm going to do is I already downloaded that stream with 40 Central, just in case it gets taken down. And I'm going to play that for my family, like while we're all together, and to see what kind of feedback I get. I think that's kind of a good suggestion for anyone who has people that they don't know about this or they've denied it, because the reaction that 40 Central cast gave, like, it was a good reaction. They were blown away. So I'm thinking this would be like a good way to put the information out there.
Yeah, a lot of people like that interview, and like you said, it's good for people who are brand new to the subject. So, yeah, appreciate that tip.
And yeah, just I try to stay positive because, you know, even though like the way you explained it was like from the bottom, there's still going to be those people who, you know, their IQ is not high enough to understand something so simple. But, you know, I still try to stay optimistic, like you say. Like, I know it's going to be hard, but, you know, we can't give up, because when we give up, that's when we know it's all over.
Indeed. And that's what they want us to do. They want us to give up.
But yeah, Zach, just keep it up. I'll be watching. I'm trying to get set up with betting, and you know, it's funny to me because like you get tips from people who bet and who win thousands, and they tip $2. I mean, if I was to win 40,000, like some other people, I'd be tipping at least $1,000 to you. Like it's a no-brainer for me, but I mean, I guess other people think differently.
Shout out to the Don Mata. The Don Mata is the only man to ever leave $1,000 tip, and he hasn't won nearly as much as a lot of people who've won a lot more than that. But yeah, appreciate it, man. I agree. I agree. You know, whatever happened to 20%? Hey, if my people tip me 20% on sports earnings, I would be a multi-millionaire. So anyway, appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir. Take care.
All right, have a good one. All right, hold on. Jason from Minneapolis, who I had a weird synchronicity with, just tried to call in. Shout out to Stevens, who just chipped in 20 on the PayPal. I appreciate that. Let me call back Jason, though, in Minneapolis. Him and I had the weirdest 74 synchronicity when we were in the Mall of America parking lot. I'd probably still be lost at the Mall of America if it wasn't for Jason. Place is huge. What's up, Jason?
Hey, Zach. How you doing?
Doing well, man.
Right on, man. Good to hear. Good to hear. Sorry to hear about old sweet lady's mom.
Yeah, I know, man. It does. Yeah,
it's to let me know right away when your address gets recognized by the post office, so I can send her out some stuff. I have like 7 or 8 different kind of hot peppers that I dehydrated, so I'll keep them separate. She could just crush them up and make some chili oil, however flavors she wants to mix them or whatever. You know, I'm sure she might like that. But so yeah, let her know. You know, all of us fans and people, you know, the community are all kind of hoping that everything works out good there. But also, I sent you an email just a few minutes ago, and if you look at that email, it's a picture of the NFL Thanksgiving picture that they seem to put up. I just tried searching for it and I can't find it, but I screenshotted it and a few weeks ago, and I sent it to you. So if you look at that picture, look who's wearing the ring.
Hold on. Hold on. What do I need to search? Thanksgiving NFL 2022?
Yeah, you could try. I couldn't find it when I just looked for it, so I sent you the screenshot that I took weeks ago.
Did you text it to me?
I emailed it.
Which email did you send it to? I'll get it.
GematriaEffectNews Gmail.
Okay, I'll find it. Is your email Jason B?
It'll say that on it, yeah. Well, no. My email starts with an NU, but you'll see my name is on it, and there's an attachment. It just was sent within the last 5 minutes.
Oh, you just sent it within the last 5 minutes. Okay, that should make it easy to find. Oh, yeah. I got it. It's right here.
Yeah. And I can't see what you're showing on the screen because I'm on my cell phone, and that's where I was listening to the stream. But, so, you know, I don't know if you want me to, you know, whatever.
Oh, Kirk Cousins got a ring on. He's got a big fat 75 in front of him like Minnesota Vikings as well. Interesting.
Yes, sir. And you know what? Remember I said that night when we were at the mall, remember I was saying they need 17 wins to hit their magic number, you know, the 52, 520 wins.
Uh-huh.
Well, if they do that, if they hit their 17th win, that will be the franchise's 1,007th game total.
Huh.
Playoffs and regular season.
Okay.
And remember, Kirk Cousins had a regular season record of 59-59 to start the season, and that's the 17th prime number. Minneapolis is 170. So, yeah, I just found that thing out the other day because this last weekend, that was their 1,000th game. So if you finish off the regular season and then 3 playoff games plus the Super Bowl, that's another 7 games. They'll hit 1,007 games
as a franchise.
Yeah, that is interesting. That is interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
Kirk equals 59. So, yeah, I just found out about the win total, you know. But, God, and there was something else I wanted to say. One thing I want to say is, you notice how you're not challenging all the haters and loser fucking trolls, and your stream hasn't been hit at all? You know, when you called them out and want to debate, they sit and fuck with your stream, and it drops all the time, and, you know, nobody can watch it because it's skipping and everything. This stream has been flawless, I've noticed.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, the hater hotline. I think I even got they even got like a virus on the computer. Like I said, I had to have the Geek Squad come out here and refresh the computer, and it's been working better. But the computer was miserable for like the 3 days after that.
Right.
So.
You know, it's like we talked a while back, a couple weeks ago. You know, it's like all these people can hide behind their computer and sit and fuck with people. But, you know, back in the day, those same geek losers, if they messed with people, they had to pay for it, you know, the next day or over the weekend, you know, or at school or whatever, you know. They can get away with it now, man. And it really pisses me off when they mess with the stream, you know, when you're dropping knowledge bombs on people, and then these assholes come up and they're jealous, dude. That's really what it comes down to, is they're jealous and they want a piece of the pie, dude. You know, that's how I see it. There's really no other way to cut it. And so they got to step on you and trash you in order to get people to follow their bullshit, you know? And, you know, I see the real one.
It's the fact that they're here every day harassing all day for all these years, though, that's make it, it's more than just jealousy and hate. It's like, who would do that unless they were being paid to do that? And again, I would have bet anything that it's either people that work for the casinos, people that work for the sports leagues, people that work for the federal government, et cetera. It's something in that group to harass the way they do 24/7, 365 for all these years. So.
Right. I agree with that. You know.
And I'll always remind people, when I got hacked on the Ides of March, every online account I had got hacked. The first thing to get hacked was my Facebook, and at the time I didn't realize that Facebook's headquarters is on one hacker away. So you know that also is an insight.
Right. And you know what? If it was just one person that was doing it, they wouldn't have been able to get in all your things and ruin it all. So you know that it's like a bigger entity that's trying to ruin it.
Indeed.
You know, if they could hack into all of your accounts and you had different passwords, different everything, there's no way that one dude could do all that. You know?
Right.
But yeah, for anybody out there questioning if Zach is the real guy and it's his real name and all that stuff, I could tell you, he's who he is. He's a genuine guy, you know, and if you want to sit and spread fake shit, you know, everybody in the chat, everybody listening now, trust me, I've met the guy. We had a one-on-one conversation when we were looking for his car. You know, I mean, I just, you know, Zach and I have had a lot of conversations because I don't like going on and talking with the audience and all that. I'm not really a big, you know, audience guy or whatever. I don't put myself out there, but we've had a lot of talks, have we not?
Indeed. Yeah.
So, I mean, and I see eye to eye with Zach. We kind of had, you know, the same type of upbringing, you know. I mean, dude, you say shit that I'll sit and talk to people about things, and then I'll hear you say it like the next day or 2 days later, and it's like, wow, you know, it's like you're in my mind or something, man, you know, or vice versa. You know, you'll be saying something, and then I'll hear somebody else say something about the topic, and I could just roll off what I remembered you saying. And it's crazy, dude. I mean, there's more synchronicities than just that number that night, man, and the thing. I'm telling you, there's just your thoughts are like pulled out of my head, it feels like a lot of times, dude. It's pretty wild. It really is.
Yeah, I still remember, man, I did not like being in that parking lot, the way the parking lot shakes. It feels like you're in an earthquake.
You know what? And when you said that, you're like, man, I wouldn't doubt if this was set up for a future collapse or something by the numbers. And I'm like, dude, wow. And I thought about that later, and I'm thinking, you know what, man, there might be something to that. And you know, I don't know how many years ago, it was probably over 10 years ago, a big cement column from, I think it was the west ramp. We were in the east ramp. The west ramp, there was somebody driving up in there, and I think it was just a small work truck or something. It hit one of the horizontal cement columns that goes across, and it fell and like crushed the truck, killed the person in it. And I'm thinking, man, how the hell does that happen if it's supposed to be a big structural deal holding up thousands of cars? I mean, you saw that night there was 740 open spaces. So who knows how many total spaces, and that's just that one level. So how does a support thing for the ramp going to that level fall like that, you know? So I could see it. I could totally see it happening one day.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So
yeah, anyway, you know, hopefully the holidays go good for you and Sweet Lady and everything. Let me know when your address starts getting mail delivered and all that, and I'll send you that stuff. And, you know, shout out to all the people in the chat. And mods, you know, some of the mods do delete people too soon. I've seen it. I'm kind of apprehensive to do anything about it. But a lot of the people, you know, I mean, I see a lot of the familiar names and good people in there, man, you know, Charmed One, Rick James, Bamboo, you know, Itachi. I could go on, you know, but I noticed that some people get into bickering with some of the, you know, non-mods and then ban them and stuff like that. And unless they're really being nasty, you know, or spamming shit over and over, give them a timeout, man. You don't have to totally block people because, you know, if they stick around, if they're blocked, they'll go away. If they stick around, they might actually, something might ring with them and they might, you know, hey,
right.
wait a minute.
Exactly
that
right.
makes sense to me, you know, and they might actually come around, you know.
Somebody wrote a really long mail to my P.O. box about this and said, Zach, you need to take away everyone's wrenches because they were taking screenshots of things that happened in the chat, and they're saying, think about it, the person wasn't even saying anything that bad. They said that could have become one of your Patreons. That could have become one of your most loyal followers, but they probably left the community after getting banned by your mod over that. So,
right.
yeah.
I mean, it's frustrating. Like you're on the sports channel, I think yesterday, and nobody can see my comments on there. I could see them; they don't go away when I leave them, but nobody responds, and it's like, man, this is frustrating. And I don't chat a whole lot, you know. Everybody that's listening, I'm Jason D in the chat. My dog, my late dog's picture is my avatar or whatever. So just so you know who it is right now, but I don't chat a whole lot. But you know, I watch it, and sometimes I don't even watch. I just sit back and listen. And but I have seen people boot others, you know, and it's really not called for sometimes. So just so they know, I might start unblocking people if I don't think that it was legit or called for. I'm just going to unblock them, because if you sit and push people away, they're never going to come around, and then they're going to go to that Sports Gematria dickheads channel. You know, and just jump in their little thing, you know.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
You know.
Indeed.
But right on, man. I'm going to let the next caller come in, and you have a good holidays, and everybody else listening, you as well. So I'm going to go out and start my truck out in the cold, and man, it's 1 below here.
yeah. Tough place to be.
So I'll be listening, but anyway, you have a good night, and everybody else, and I'll be listening.
All right. Appreciate it. Thanks, Jason.
All right,
have a good one. Stay warm.
Bye.
See you. Yeah, it's cold back in Minnesota. Yeah, I don't know if Coffee Girl's out there, but shout out to Coffee Girl. She's actually, I haven't seen her in the chat in a long time. Hopefully she didn't get blocked. But she wrote the long email about the mods blocking way too many people who didn't need to get blocked. And again, I just like to give out wrenches so people can share links. Because you can't, it'll like, Google will auto block your link if you're not a mod. So yeah, I haven't seen Coffee Girl in a minute, unfortunately. So anyhow, the line is open if you guys want to call in. Again, we're doing the makeup TFR show. Again, Sweet Lady got bad news about her mother. So I'm going to spend time with Sweet Lady tonight. And about the holiday, I mean, unfortunately, I wish things were different. I don't think. I mean, it'll be a nice time, I imagine, with Sweet Lady, but we're not planning on doing anything. Again, I have a super dysfunctional family. Pretty much all they do is fight when they get together, and Sweet Lady can't stand it. So she doesn't want to be around my family. Her family lives in Burma, so we're not going to be next to her family. And now her mom has this major health problem, and hopefully it gets better from here. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's normally what I think about when the holidays come around. I wish my family wasn't so dysfunctional and we could just get together and have a nice time, but it's kind of like a fantasy. So, Math2Con says the address 1 Hacker Way, Menlo Park equals 201. Is that right? How about that? Yeah, it's crazy, man. How I know my family is nothing out of the ordinary. It's crazy how dysfunctional of a society and people we are. Yeah, I mean, as a kid, I loved Christmas and Thanksgiving just because the family got together and I saw my cousins and my relatives. And I used to, my Uncle John, he was just a funny guy. He'd always make me laugh. And when, when he wasn't making me vomit on the spot, sometimes he went a little bit far, but again, Uncle John, he was a bunch of wake up calls. I remember as a kid, I was eating a hot dog, and Uncle John said, "You know what you're eating right now?" And I was like, my little kid mind, a hot dog. He's like, "You're eating a bunch of ground up cow dicks, instant puke." So, what are you gonna do without Uncle John? Yeah, yeah. Growing up, things become more difficult. So. Yeah, I mean, yeah, just growing up is funny. I mean, just more on Uncle John. He died. He died just before Christmas. Time flies. I can't remember exactly what year. I think it was 2009. I think it was 2009, and he has two sons. Well, one is the son who got the shot and then had a heart attack just right after it, and then his other son's a little bit younger. They're both a lot older than me. Again, my mom's family has a whole bunch of siblings, so like my sister's 12 years older, and then my other cousins are even older than her. But the son that's about the same age as my sister, he called me up after when my Uncle John died. I was in Seattle on Queen Anne Hill, which is this really steep hill, and Seattle had like its worst snowstorm in forever. And everything was shut down that year. It like put a bunch of businesses out of business because nobody got any holiday shopping. The mass transit wasn't running. It was like impossible to get off the hill I was on. People were literally skiing and snowboarding down the hill. And he died at the same time. And he was about 3 hours from where I was down in the Portland area. So there was no way to get to him when he passed away. And they had the funeral right away, and the city was still like stuck. But then my cousin called me up and he was talking about what an asshole I was because I didn't come down for the funeral. I totally wanted to be there, but it's just funny how family is. It's like I feel bad that I'm not there. I mean, but yeah, it does sad that it's just sad that the way, again, just how many people's families are dysfunctional, and just it's like when we were kids we all got along just fine, but grow up, things happen, and I don't know. I guess there's so much negativity in our society. Everyone just starts taking it out on each other. But yeah, I mean, imagine that we grew up in a world like where we didn't get put in state school, and again, you weren't expected to go work your job, but instead, like, you grew up like tribal people. You have your family around, your tribe, you look out for each other, you make sure the shelter's taken care of, the food's taken care of, you play together, you have conversations together. I mean, you know what? I mean, if you think about that, it's probably like every day would kind of be like what happens now when we have a holiday. And then finally people have a time off from school and work and can actually get together and be family, which, again, like I was saying, for most people in America, that happens like twice a year, Thanksgiving and Christmas. Might happen on Easter as well. Now I think about it, kind of happens on Easter. I'm thinking that, we always went over to the same family member's house. They'd have like the Easter egg toss and find the Easter eggs. But yeah, again, if we lived in a world where we weren't always at slave school and doing our slave job, we'd be around each other. So I imagine it would be better. Cut's one who works on the mountain, not a bad job. About to do one last trip down the slope for the day. Yeah, you got a cool job, Cuts, working on the mountain. I used to always think about that when I'd go up to the mountain as a kid. I was like, how do you get one of these jobs just working on the mountain? This seems like an ideal thing to do. Yeah. Society definitely keeps us divided. Okay, well, if we don't have any more calls, we can wrap up the stream. Again, if you guys got here late, this is the Makeup TFR show because I will not be able to do it tonight. We played a little Rambo, played a little script unveiled, talked about Zelensky taking some calls. If you guys do want to call in, it's not the normal TFR number. Again, I'll wait to see if there's anybody else who wants to call in. You can either join the stream through the pinned post or you can dial 509. I'll type it in the chat too. 509 is the first three digits, then 560, and then 4982. Oh, welcome back. Obviously, I have more on your mind. What's going on, caller?
Yeah, I'm still permanently blocked on the live stream. It could be outside hackers. They got my IP. I've had 3 computers killed off. I just lost a solid state hard drive computer, and I know I'm high target, because of what I've done, for the last 12 years on the internet. But yeah, I'm still blocked, on your live stream.
I can go through the list and try and unblock it. The problem is there's so many people blocked that it doesn't even let you see the full list. So unless you're in the visible part of the list, I won't be able to unblock you. But what's your current account name? Because I will look.
Oh, let's see. This one that I'm on, let's see what this one's. Jesuit, Satanic, Vatican. Second word is America. The other one.
Okay, I'll remember it as Jesuit Satanic. When I see that, that's obviously your account, so I'll look for it.
Satanic, Jesuit, Vatican, America with a K. So it'll have Jesuit, Satanic, and Vatican in both of them. But my intention is just to put out irrefutable data because, like I've said, in the last 12 years, I do 2,000 hours of research every day. That's 8 to 12 hours every day for 12 freaking years. So I know my butt from a hole in the ground.
Sure.
And I'm old, as I talked about opposing, the war on ASU campus way back in October 1969, being a TI. My life has been hell. I have been effed with by so many agencies that, these people that are on the live stream and stuff that are posting stuff, they have no idea what the fuck I have been through in my life. And as such, I'm not a sage, I'm not savant, but I do my due diligence. And I have my head is a big freaking hard drive.
Sure. Yeah.
I could pull stuff out of my head, incessantly. And the only other, person I've met that really amazes me is you have incredible memory for dates and numbers because you've been doing it extensively. But in terms of all over the internet, in the last 12 years, I have pummeled the internet. And I'm not a braggadocio or a bragger. I hammer the internet, and I hammer the shows and the liars and the trolls like nobody's business. And I'm not boasting. There are no 100 or 1,000 people that can compete with what I've contributed on the internet in the last 12 years. It's just because I got 12 hours a day, because I do my due diligence. And I've got a lot of hard data. It's not going to be Gematria, but it ties and dovetails completely with Gematria because of the hard data. And I would like to add that. So if you could at least, there's mods that are watching, like Cut Zone, I've insulted him on the way back down for using too many emojis and stuff like that. It bothers me when people have a Blue Rancher or anybody that doesn't, and they come on and then they just put in like 3 emojis. Well, that's not data, I know maybe they use emojis to grab attention, like, hey, notice me and notice what I'm going to say. But if they're just throwing up emojis, it's useless. So, I defer to you if you can, sort this out. I don't expect it will change, but it would be nice if they would respect their elder, because I am their elder and I have gone through dark crap forever. And I lost my brother. He was a Nam, and I lost him in 2008, Agent Orange. It turned his spine into chalk. He died in, Elizabeth, Colorado, and Elizabeth L. Lizardbirth. But if you would, try to look into that, because my intent is just to put on data. I don't give a flying fidget whoever else is out there. I just want relevant data to go up there. I put up coaching platforms. I'm not here, in the sandbox, like some social function or something. I just want to add good data.
Yeah, indeed. I will look for your account and try to get it out of the banned territory. I'm sorry that happened. So
do you know why you can't circumcise a politician?
No.
Because there is no end to those pricks.
Good one.
This will piss off the religious people. I went to Catholic school at Mount Carmel in Tempe, Arizona. And we did no Bible study, but here's a harder one. So all you, Jesus people, watch out. The difference between Jesus and a prostitute?
What?
The look on their face when they're getting nailed.
Oh, man, that's going to piss off some people. Okay.
I got a zillion more jokes. And the sad thing is that, I put out hard data. I could be hard on people. But, in life, humor has been my strong suit. And that's what I like utilizing the most. But, when I'm getting backed into a corner, it's just like, get the fuck out of my way.
Sure.
If you F with me, you got trouble.
Yeah.
Thanks for taking my call. And, I realize you've been through a lot of crap in your life. I was not able to buy a house until 2013. I moved in on April the 1st. And I was hot and heavy on the internet. I never had anybody drive their car through my garage and F with you as much as you had. But, I'm out there. I'm doing the good opposition. I don't like the word fight because, that means violence, but I'm in the good opposition mode.
Sure. I hear that.
Old Manbo out.
All right. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Have a wonderful time. And I don't like to use the word holiday because it's holy day, like Holy Roman Emperor or the Holy of Holies or Hollywood land. It was Hollywood land because it's the Hollywood that they made the staff for the demonic warlocks. So I don't like to use the word holiday.
Right.
Celebration or festivities, or how would the Dutch say it? Het feest.
Right. All right, friend. Well, I really appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah. Have a great day.
Thanks for your work.
You're welcome. All right. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. By the way, you guys, it is the winter solstice today, so it is the shortest day of the year, and it's 4:21 p.m. out here, and it's already getting pretty dark. Again, the further north you go, the darker it gets in the wintertime. In the summertime, the longer the days get. But the good news is every day after day starts to get a little bit longer. So the transgender son of the Kentucky senator, she is Karen Berg. born December 30th, 1961. That means that her child died. It says her child died last Friday, December 16th. That means the child died 14 days before her birthday. We know dead equals 14. And that also means the child died 351 days after the last birthday, the 26th triangular number. Rambo made a big point about that combination of 351 and 26. And with regards to that, notice what district she's in. She's in the 26th district. So she loses her child 351 days after her birthday, the 26th triangular number, while representing the 26th district in Kentucky. Technically, they died the day before Saturnalia started. Saturn does equal 26 in centenary gematria. And many Bible researchers will contend that Saturn is the god of the Old Testament. Of course, God has that 26 gematria. So Amy too cracked their code, says 177 days after the anniversary of the special election. Again, Amy's blog is cracktheircode.org. And she's got the update on Ronnie Hillman. Here's her post on the senator. See if she caught the same things I did. All right. Yeah. December 16th. June 23rd. Anniversary day. So 177 days after the anniversary. Big Jesuit number. Just like, again, the Jesuit order is 177-201. You had Messi staying in hotel room number 201, win the World Cup 177 days after the birthday. Okay, Amy, you might want to add that the child died 351 days after her birthday. Her birthday is December 30th, the 26th triangular, going with the 26th district. So thank you, Carl. Appreciate the super chat. He's pulled out a 33-1 shot doing his own Gematria decode. Did you write me a review on Amazon? Is that what you mean? Let me check out Carl's review. He must have a new review. Shout out to Nathan. Nathan chipped in 5, said, great stream, no issues. Hope all the best for Sweet Lady's mother. Appreciate that. Thank you, Nathan. Let's see what the latest is. If you go to Amazon and search Zachary K. Hubbard, it should pull up my book. And 776 reviews. Let me search by the latest. Daria, I see Daria's review. Shout out to Daria. Appreciate it, Daria. I got to imagine that's the Daria who comes out and pounds payment with us. Carl Streener, here's his review. Well, it looks like he gave it a while ago. June 11, 2022. A must-read book after hearing about the knowledge through the author of his videos with examples of truth with the numbers. Enjoying the knowledge Zach is working to inspire others. My apologies to you with the review as... Oh, yeah. That's right. I remember, Carl. I remember you gave me 3 stars, and I asked if you could go back and give 5 stars. So, all right. Appreciate that, Carl. Thank you. Okay. Got it. Roger. You know how they've been paying me $200 every month for the book? I told you that the day before the anniversary, they finally gave me a pay. I forget what it was. It was like $500 and some dollars. Like, whoa, they paid me something other than $200. Well, the bad news is, since I got that payment, which was better than $200, now I've been getting really low payments the last 2 months. So I'm like, what is going on? Every month was $200 for like 2 years. Then on the day that I got paid before the anniversary of the release of the book, it was better than $200. It was like $500 and some. And now the last 2 payments have been like $20. So I'm like, okay. I guess they had to get it back to like the average of 200 a month. Anyway. Thank you to everyone who did buy the book, though. I appreciate it. And yeah, I think we will leave it there for now. I'm going to run to the grocery store. I'm going to get something at the grocery store that's Sweet Lady's favorite piece of food and have her favorite meal for her when she comes home, because I don't know what else to do that could, I know other things I could do that would help cheer her up. But I mean, it's hard to cheer somebody up when their mom is dying. So yeah, it's too bad it has to happen like right around Christmas time. But again, in a way, she's kind of mentally prepared for it because her mom has not been healthy for a while. And like I said, her mom's a lot older. So appreciate it. Yeah, right. Thanks everyone who said, thoughts for Sweet Lady, prayers for Sweet Lady. I appreciate it. Again, that's why we're not doing TFR tonight. She got the news that her mom had a bad stroke, and hopefully her mom will be getting to a medical center sometime soon. So we'll leave it there for now. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate everyone who hit the like, and I'm sure I'll be back bright and early tomorrow. Have a good rest of your evening. If you're in another part of the world, have a good day. And until next time, Truth Seeker.